Alright, welcome to Wrestle Wednesday. I don't know if this is going to be episode 1 or just this is Wednesday where I'm doing a stream involving wrestling. I'm here with Xelrog.
Hi, I'm here.
He somehow agreed to this. Because I think it's because I promised you we're not going to watch full wrestling matches. And you're like, okay, as long as we're not doing that, I'm down for whatever you want.
I mean, I'll try it. You only just told me what it is we're doing, so why don't you tell them what we're doing?
So, I have a kind of an obsession. When I watch, I have a very eclectic tastes, right? I watch and I read and I play a lot of different things of a lot of different genres. But one thing that I come back to is, like, for characters especially, is yeah, they're cool, but what if they were wrestlers? What if they were just pro wrestlers? Like, John Wick is like his assassin, and I think to myself, what would he be like as a pro wrestler? And I don't mean like CAW, just like going in a wrestling game and just making them look like that, like they are, but they're just like in WWE 2K whatever. But like an actual like transition, like 1-to-1. So I decided today I am going to satisfy my obsession. Welcome to the Wrestlingverse. The idea here is that I experimented with this with ChatGPT a little bit, but I always found myself kind of disagreeing, and I thought that maybe it'd be kind of entertaining just for me to look at that and go, no, I disagree with you. That's not how that would do. This is what they would actually do. It's the peak. Yeah. It's the peak of absurdity. And I like absurdity.
Now, me as an outsider to wrestling, if I'm going to be honest, a lot of the stuff that you've posted to me, I've disagreed with your ideas of characters as wrestlers.
Awesome. So it'll be a three-way. We're gonna argue with each other. We're both gonna argue with Let's Chat to GPT. Now, you're not. Also, as an outsider, you don't know a lot of like wrestling moves and stuff. So I have YouTube open on this side, and if I need to, I can just type in like a move just to show you, and so you could like know what the fuck I'm talking about. Say, for instance, well, his move would be an Orange Crush, and you're like, what the fuck's an Orange Crush? I just go Kenta Kobashi Orange Crush, and
you just gotta make triple sure it doesn't share a name with a sexual position or something.
There you go. That's an Orange Crush. So you see what I got set up here. I spent a lot of time at work yesterday thinking about it. So, all right. Now the prompting is everything. What I think would work. It would be convert, and then we'll put X from into a kayfabe compliant pro wrestle.
Okay, you're already gonna have to explain.
Kayfabe. So kayfabe is just a shorthand for in the universe of pro wrestling, like in pro wrestling storyline. It's old carny talk for like.
Figure it knows that.
It does. It does. It knows. ChatGPT knows all and sees all.
It'll have more informed opinions than I see.
WRESTL. List. All right. How did I do that? You know what? Yeah, I just realized I experimented with this a little bit, so I can just copy the prompt I used for. There.
Do you want to share some of the characters that you've sent me, or are you going to recreate most of them here?
Actually, I did do a bit of them. 69. All right, yeah. You know what? This is like the baking show. It's already done for me. Close your eyes. No spoilers.
I can barely see the screen anyway.
That's fine. Wait, you can barely see it? Oh, that'd be a problem. I'm gonna have to.
Just very small text.
Yeah,
TV far across from me.
Well, good news. I can fix that. Zoom?
Cater to my old man eyes.
It's fine. I do. All right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right.
So, is there a non-kayfabe compliant version that came first?
I just think that this actually goes for actual legit pro wrestling physics, because nobody in pro wrestling is like flying in the air or like firing energy balls. So
yeah.
So this is just kind of like what I would if I'm sitting down and I'm going to do a pro wrestling match. This is basically what I would expect these characters to be like doing essentially. So first one, it was like Son Goku.
So my idea when we did like something like Jackmania was the characters, but they're limited to only doing wrestling stuff. Your idea is totally reimagining them so that they were never them; they were always a pro wrestling identity.
Yes, yeah, that's the idea. It's the Wrestlerverse. When I say Wrestlerverse, I mean it's a universe where all the fictional characters we've ever thought of, they were actually always pro wrestlers.
Yeah, no, I watched Mucha Lucha.
I actually kind of enjoyed Mucha Lucha. Do you have any fond memories of that show?
I never watched a whole lot of it, actually. That's one of the cartoons I never went back and watched, because it had like a little continuity, but it wasn't a narrative show.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a way of life. It is, though. Right. Son Goku, so let's start with Son Goku. The classic DBZ super... You know who Son Goku is.
If you don't, what the fuck are you doing?
Son Goku is a pro wrestler, kayfabe compliant version. His ring name, no change. His name carries mystic energy on its own and has cross-cultural... That is actually true, because he's like... Son Goku is Japanese version of the Sun Wukong character.
So this is returning what the AI thinks of turning the character into a wrestler, and you're critiquing / modifying.
And I'm critiquing it, yes. Sometimes I did modify it. I did modify this one, I think. There's actually there's a wrestler that actually was doing like kind of a Sun Wukong gimmick. His name was Yoshihashi. And he had that kind of like drunk who didn't want to be here energy to him.
Drunk Goku.
The Saiyan Soul, an eternal challenger. Goku's gimmick is that of a hyper-disciplined martial arts savant with an irrepressible, joyful hunger for battle. That's true. That actually it could work in like pro wrestling, where it's just guys like, I just want to fucking wrestle people. Fuck it. Portrays a character who lives for the fight, not out of violence, but for the thrill of testing his limits and finding stronger opponents. He treats the ring like sacred ground where power and honor are proven to respect technique and heart. That's more leaning more towards Ocean Goku. Ally to good, nightmare to you.
Yeah. I don't think there's any particular sacred ground to Goku, unless it's a place there's no people.
Yeah, no, sacred ground is... Wait, there's not enough people.
Wait, not here. Someplace there's people.
That's pro wrestling Goku. It's just like, I'd like to fight you, but can we do it in the ring? Like, I'm just picturing like Goku and an opponent, a potential opponent, just cutting a fucking like backstage promo, but it's in the middle of a fucking wasteland. They're just randomly there. It's just him and fucking John Cena are just randomly in the middle of the fucking desert, and Goku's like, well, we can fight, but not here. We has to be in the ring where people watch. He's a face through and through. Yep. Humble in promos. Respectful of rivals, but always grinning at the thought of a good... Yeah! When pushed too far or his friends are threatened, he ascends into a higher state of focus and fury, echoed by his kayfabe powering up segments where the crowd rallies behind him to bring out the second wind. So, I'm just picturing, like he gets pissed, he just shouts, and then the crowd shouts with him. Ah! And the commentator's like, oh no, he's powering up. So... No,
that's Sonic that gets stronger from the voices.
Wait, when did Sonic hear voices in his head?
Sonic Adventure, remember when the end when there was no people
yeah, there was
visible?
No people, but people were shouting anyway. All well that it's well, right? Then he's been fucking destroyed.
More accurately, Goku would be like, the Saiyan thing is getting stronger when he gets pinned or loses or something, but it's some creative liberties.
Yeah,
There's like the Spirit Bomb, but lots of anime characters.
Something I'm familiar with is Hulk Hogan hulking up. So like he's just like on his lowest, but then he's like, I'm gonna fucking get better, and so he takes hits, and he's like, no, it's not working anymore. That's the closest I can think of to like somebody doing like a power up in actual like real life pro wrestling.
Okay.
So,
well, you could suddenly get more energetic, but that's the big act to keep up.
Yeah, honestly, Goku seems like he'd be kind of one-dimensional as like a pro wrestler, because it's just that it's like some kind of weird strong style John Cena appearance. So this is interesting. What's up?
Just making sure I'm not supposed to be hearing any audio from the YouTube stuff, right?
No, probably not. No. Is it not? Are you not hearing anything?
No, I'm not getting any audio.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It won't matter because I'm just showing you just the video. Orange style appearance, orange style gi tights with blue boots and wrist tape. Okay, yeah, no, that would make sense. Resembles a fusion of a karate uniform and wrestling gear, like RVD or Nakamura with a JoJo flair. RVD, his tights are different though. Rob Van Dam.
Hello, Darian.
Hey, Darian.
He heard the YouTube audio, so it is going to the stream.
That's good, because his tights are like airbrushed. Like this is like an example of like his tights being just. Look at that. RVD had some of like the craziest like singlets. Everybody else is wearing like black like colors or like a logo or like their fucking like name on it.
Why is it about to eat his dick?
Shit, you're right. And then Nakamura. I'm guessing he's talking about Shinsuke Nakamura.
I mean, Goku would not have like a flashy outfit.
No, he wouldn't. No, I don't agree with that.
Shadow the fucking wrestler.
This holster is just an excuse to show you wrestling shit under the guise of it being an experiment. But yeah, he doesn't always dress like this. Sometimes he just wears like red and stuff. But yeah, that is a good. No, I don't want to zoom in. All right. Okay, Nakamura, RVD. No, I disagree with this. Occasionally wears a sleeveless weighted vest to the ring, which he theatrically moves before a big comeback. Before a comeback? No, you know what'd be great? He's like it's supposed to be weighted, right? And he takes it off and he hands it to the ref, and the ref just tries to grab it. He falls over, like, oh shit, this is heavy.
The ref would really have to sell it for that.
Yeah, I've seen that before. There was this wrestler. I think I spelled it correctly. No, I didn't. You want to, yeah. So this wrestler is Barbaro Cavernario, and he comes to the ring with a fucking club, and he hands it to the ref, and the ref just says, "Oh shit, this is actually really fucking heavy." So,
Brother Para.
So it has. Or Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy doesn't have a club. Well, at least Jack Perry didn't when he was doing the gimmick. Wild, spiky hair.
You're about a wrestler, not the Johnny Bravo character.
Jack Perry. There was a Johnny Bravo character called Jungle Boy?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where Jack Perry got that gimmick from then. Wild, spiky hair. Natural black, teased up. Yep. And ascended comeback sequences, strobe lighting, and dry ice simulated Super Saiyan. Golden lights. That's kind of impractical. That's like something WWE would do.
I guess it depends on how often he's going Super Saiyan.
Here's what I'm thinking, right? Rather than him just being like, oh, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan now. What I'm thinking is that for matches where it's like really personal, he would just show up and his hair would be dyed blonde. And that's like, oh, this is a big match. This is big match Goku. Now you're getting big match Goku. Like,
you're supposed to send a message to his opponent.
Yeah, so Finn Balor does something similar. He's a wrestler in currently wrestling in WWE, and this is what he looks like normally. But during big matches where he's like got something at stake, he decides he's gonna look like this. That's how you know. So like this, but he's just dyeing his hair. And like I'm picturing his career, he just like did that first match against Frieza. Is like he dyed his hair blonde and he just fought more viciously. And then he does that for big pay-per-view matches, and then he recently just decides I'm gonna dye it different colors, like red or blue or silver.
He didn't do the dye thing until it was a revenge match for Krillin.
Oh yeah, when Krillin when Frieza put Krillin through a table, and it just fucking killed him, and then Goku was just on his knees, just screaming, and the crowd was chanting, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" It was after Goku won against Frieza the first time, and he was like trying to shake his hand, and then Frieza responded as like a sore loser by just putting Krillin through a fucking table and killing him. Has a stylized turtle kanji logo on his boots and backpack. Yeah, you know which logo he's talking about, right? The one that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he always updates his gi with whatever is latest.
All right, this is the one where I think we're gonna get more material from. In-ring style, hybrid martial arts, pro wrestling, strong style, lucha, martial arts, so many. So I get these two. So strong style is like that Japanese, like more pro wrestling than martial arts, but still like pro martial arts. I don't get lucha though, because lucha's like flips and shit, and like it's a certain style of like high flying Mexican wrestling. So
Goku's very fast, but he's not necessarily.
He's very fast. I guess it's because he flies. Like I'm guessing maybe like he's like does like strong style stuff, but he also has like a really high vertical leap.
I think he's more of a speed character than a power character in the context of Dragon Ball. Outside of that, any Dragon Ball character is a power character, I suppose.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball characters are like. But I'm thinking like, does he mean like a guy who can jump like this? Hold on. Oh, that's Roderick Strong.
Forearms, back elbow, thudding.
Yeah, so Kazuchika Okada has like a high vertical leap despite him wrestling basically like modern strong style. So yeah, hard-hitting strikes. He is like a striker. Like most of the time in like DBZ, he's like doing strikes and shit.
Yeah. Flashy
aerial offense, springboards, moonsaults, corkscrew dives. This I don't. I think maybe he'll do springboards. You know what a springboard is?
Nope.
Okay.
Bouncing off the ropes.
S. B-O-A-R-D. Let's do a standard springboard. Like, yeah. EO. So basically just grabbing just going up on the top rope and then doing a move off of it, like from the apron, as opposed to just climbing up the ropes and doing a move. It's quick. And I think he could do that, but like moonsaults and corkscrew dives, basically
it's kind of saying that he can do everything.
I mean, I guess he could, but he just, when he fights, he always just kind of does like hard-hitting shit.
You also kind of need to represent the flight thing, because that's like the state, that's the identity of Dragon Ball Z.
That's true. So I don't see Goku doing that though. That's way too flashy for what he does. That's martial arts counters and chain wrestling, cartwheel escapes, kip ups, throws, one-inch punch style pop. The fuck does this mean, ChatGPT? Like Bruce Lee shit?
Isn't that the thing like Sanosuke learns with like the knuckle and then the other knuckle? Isn't that the 1-inch punch?
No, 1-inch punch is this is like. I guess that you're technically correct. It's just he's 1 inch away and he punches you with so much force you just go backwards. I don't think has Goku ever done that though in DBZ?
No.
No.
Despite it ostensibly being about technique at certain points, DBZ is never really about technique.
No, Goku just does like flat. He does do like spectacular moves, but it's always just like I'm going to do as much damage as I can. Well, as like just.
Well, that's also the thing about Goku is that he intentionally holds himself back constantly to drag out fights.
Oh yeah, no, he actually has that pro wrestling like work rate like best bout machine mentality going on. He doesn't cheat, but he improvises, leaping off guardrails using spatial awareness, even tricking heels with playful feints. Yeah, no, he does that. I can imagine he just like feints and just. Oh man, like you know what one of my favorite like feints is. This is a wrestler called Samoa Joe, and he just.
Because Joe almost beat him at
so,
Grand Slam.
A lot of the times when wrestlers do aerial moves, they either like immediately go look and take the move, or they go, "Oh shit!" They immediately just run away. But what Samoa Joe does is inspired. I was like, wrestling, he sees. No. I'm not taking that.
He's lazily lifting to the left. This guy's got some maneuvers.
It's great. I love it. He often lets opponents recover if they're staggered, valuing the fight over the win. Yeah, that's true. He just sees a guy going. Yeah, just guy going down. He's like waiting from the stand, not even to deliver a move, but just to be like, I want to wrestle more. Come on. All right, signature spots. Running corner to corner dropkick after a key charge pose. It's a bit flashy. I think that's too sports entertainment-y for him to do that. Telegraphed dodge followed by a blink fast roundhouse kick. Okay, so yeah, he's like somebody's like doing a lariat, he just ducks and then just delivers like a roundhouse kick to the other guy's head. It was like yeah, I could see that. Or like he dodges a fucking like aerial move and just kicks the guy on the ground. Crowd chant pumps him up mid beatdown for that's any wrestler though. Kamehameha. Okay, so the finisher. I disagree. Kamehameha driver, a blue thunder bomb variant with theatrical charging hands beforehand. Okay, so this is a blue thunder bomb. It's actually a pretty cool move, but I don't think it fits him.
Blue thunder.
Best blue thunder bomb of all time. I'll be the judge of that. Sami Zayn. Yep. Sami Zayn, AJ Styles. So, Blue Thunder Bomb is this. Looks cool. Actually really cool move. I don't think Goku would do that, though. Here's a move I think he would do. Not Sami Zayn. I don't need Sami's. Let me see some Japanese strong style. No. Okay, I told you, Goog. I told you, YouTube. Thank you. Yeah. Diner suplex. Here's an exploder suplex. That's what I think Goku would do. For whatever reason, my mind translates like energy blasts to like suplexes. I think it's just. I think it's because the hands are like forward, and I see forward hands, and I'm like, yeah, as you're grappling someone.
If they're gonna do a Kamehameha thing, I kind of just picture him doing the pose and sticking both hands out and slamming them into someone in the pose.
Hey,
that's my idea of a Goku finisher.
Oh. That's been done before.
Hadouken.
Yeah, see this? Right, not him. Kenny Omega's the guy with the blonde hair. There he is.
Basically that, yeah.
That was like a signature.
Everything's been done before. That's been done less than a suplex.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you do that. Oh, but okay. So a secondary finisher then. This is what I picture his like his other finisher.
I have a memory of saying powerbomb in Hercule's voice, and I have no idea what stream it was or what the context was.
So I picture him doing like a powerbomb, like that maneuver, but before he does that, he while he's in that position, he just raises his arms in the air, and the crowd raises their arms in the air as well. Like that's the spirit bomb like signature, right? Like Goku's like, "Let me your energy," throws his arms up. Just picturing the crowd doing that.
I guess it works.
Yeah.
Would he have to would he be obliged to determine whether the move works or not by the crowd's response?
Like if he's raising his arms and the crowd's not feeling it, he tries and then the guy counters out of it. Yeah, that's great. That's the improvisation that and then the crowd realizes, oh, we fucked up, and the next time he tries it, they get the message and they all raise their hands up as well.
They need Hercule to be hype man first.
Yeah, Hercule would be a great pro wrestler, I think. I haven't
He is a pro wrestler, effectively.
Oh yeah. No, I imagine if I put like
you see him fight once or twice, and he's weirdly high flying.
He throws kicks like flying kicks like he's a fucking Japanese junior. Yeah,
he's a very flashy,
quote
unquote wrestler.
Yeah. Alternate finisher for big matches: Ultra Instinct Knee, a sudden jumping knee to the jaw with no wasted movement. That's a pretty standard thing to like. Like, you're thinking about something like this?
Martian, Pennsylvania.
Probably not that. That's backyard stuff. Maybe, maybe something like this? Come on. That's what I picture. Like that's a fucking brutal knee strike right there. I like that knee strike.
That's ultra instincty.
Or maybe like I'm thinking like maybe he's standing, he dodges, and he just suddenly shoots up with like a knee. That's very MMA style like strike.
Again, as an outsider, I'm picturing as a representation of like the Dragon Ball Z teleport behind someone. He quickly gets around the back of them and just slams them with the back of his arm.
Oh, like an elbow? Oh,
yeah, sure.
Like this, except they're standing.
Like a backwards lariat.
Like, okay, so this, but
And look at the future franchise.
Is that Titus Alexander? I'm no joke. I'm fucking wearing his shirt right now. That's fucking hilarious.
Signals that this is it. Sweet.
Right, so
time driver, no.
like that, like what he just did, right? Like this.
Yeah, it's like a back arm hit. Yeah.
Yeah. That
I figure
actually,
they're standing though. Like he just dodged an attack and got
and then he just does like a fucking like chop against the guy's head with his elbow, and just takes him out. I could see that.
Yeah, that's the teleport behind.
Teleport behind, like he just leapfrogs over the guy's stunned, and then just wham hits him. That's something I think Goku would do. This was kind of accurate. I'm gonna disagree a lot with in-ring style and moves, I think, for this.
So strong style doesn't necessarily imply that they're like slow or beefy or anything.
Strong style, no, it's just like it comes from when Antonio Inoki and Giant Baba were founding their own companies in Japan. Giant Baba decided he was going to do a style which was later known as King's Road, which was very like storytelling heavy in ring and just like filled with very flashy stuff. And then Inoki was like, well, this guy's going to do a showman style, I'm going to do a strong style. And so his stuff was like, we're going to have these moves and we're going to make it look real. And so the strikes, and it was very heavy into like strikes and submissions and stuff. So I think now like modern strong style from the company, New Japan Pro Wrestling is the company that Inoki founded. Modern strong style is like very King's Roady, very like into like flashy like stuff, and then it starts off slow and then it builds up as the match goes on and gets really fast towards the end. So yeah, it can be very fast. What was the fucking question? I'm sorry, I got lost in the sauce.
The strong style is not like slow and beefy.
No, your American wrestling is very slow and beefy. Like American like sports entertainment style wrestling, it is like very slow and it's focused on people being like big, beef and beefy. Or at least it was. It's getting more eclectic now. You don't know about Edward Stark. John Wick. I don't think... No, you never.
I've seen the first movie. That's the entirety of my John Wick experience.
Well, when did you see the first movie?
You made me watch it.
Oh, yeah, okay. That sounds like something I do. Bakugo Katsuki from My Hero Academia is one I think we'll go for next.
Forgot that was his last name. Always angry, never not.
Always angry, never not. I think I did this a couple times. No, I didn't. I only did it. Katsuki Blast Zone Bakugo.
That's way too short for him.
No, what would his fucking no, it'd be Katsuki King Explosion Murder God Dynamite Bakugo. And he forced the fucking announcer to say it the entire time. Like every time. Okay. Gimmick, the human detonator, sure. Bakugo's gimmick revolves around being a volatile, high-impact wrestler with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. Okay, accurate so far. He's billed
as. What does that even mean? A chip on his shoulder?
Like he's got something to prove. You've never heard the saying "a chip on his shoulder" before?
It always just sounded like something people said without it actually meaning anything specific.
All right, Urban Dictionary. On his chip on his shoulder. This has gotten lost in all the false meanings. A chip on his shoulder comes from the days when there was a formal declaration for a fight, punch-up, etc. When a person disagreed strongly with someone over a personal belief, they would place a chip of wood on their shoulder, dare the other to knock it off. I dare it, yeah. I dare you fight me!
Is what this person claims to be the original definition. That's exactly what I thought it was, though. That the definition has gotten lost in false definitions.
But they fucking... Chip on his shoulder commonly refers to as someone who has self-righteous feeling of inferiority or a grudge. I think that's what ChatGPT-san means.
Like obstinate.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Obstinate. He's billed as a former underground fighter turned pro who climbed through brutal deathmatch circuits in Japan before cleaning up just enough to make it to the big leads. ChatGPT deciding that they're going to fucking invent a gimmick, like a storyline for him. Sure.
It is completely different from what his storyline was.
Which I imagine his gimmick in like if he was like in the Wrestlerverse would be that he really admired fucking pro wrestler like All Might and he wanted to be like him and he's just really fucking brutal in the ring and he just wants to be a face, but just is like heel, and just his personality and the way he just like wrestles just brutally. That's how
so much so that the villains tried to recruit him. He's like, "Who the fuck do you think I am?"
Dude, he's just in the ring. He's like in the ring, and like this heel faction is like, "We want you to join us," and then he's just looking, going, "Bitch, get the fuck out of my ring! I don't need you." And, you think I'm a heel? Why would you think that? Is it because I beat down fucking Deku after our match once? That's just what I do for everyone, man. He talks trash loud, challenges anyone and everyone, and calls himself the wow, future face of violence.
That does sound like something Bakugo would call himself.
That goes hard, too. His promos are aggressive, unfiltered, and fiery, laced with promises to blow up his opponents. He's not a heel or face, he's a force of nature, sure. Crowd would cheer for him, though, right?
I do think, like, the main big part of his identity is that he acts like a jerk-ass, but he's still, like, a face deep down.
Yeah, this guy would not cheat to win matches. He thinks it would be beneath him. But also profanity-laced. Dude would cuss so much that he would just not be clean for TV. Backstage segments show him barely restrained, snapping at interviewers and demanding tougher opponents. He's not just here to win, he's here to dominate. It's the reverse of Goku, where Goku would try to draw out matches. Bakugo would just try to, like, fucking end it, like, as quickly as he can.
Yeah. Do you think he's got, like, the Mike Tyson thing, where he goes all in immediately?
Like, oh, he's totally a sprinter. He probably, most of his matches would go, like, 5 to 10 minutes, and he'd just go all out immediately. And, rarely he would have matches that would go, like, 30 minutes or beyond, and it'd probably go, like, the flow would be, like, he'd go and hit a lot of his moves early on, there'd be a middle section where it'd be more slower, and where his opponent would mostly dominate, and he'd get a second wind later on, and then hit his finishing moves, and then he'd either win or lose. That's probably how his matches would go. Appearance, ring gear. Black and orange tights, correct so far, with stylized grenade designs down the side. Sure. Yeah, that fits. Matching fingerless gloves and black boots with red soles. Yeah. Yeah, no, that fits. Large stylized X stretches across his chest from shoulder to shoulder hip on his entrance jacket. Nod to his hero roots. How was that? That was a red X inherently heroic.
He was a bad guy in Teen Titans.
ChatGPT is hallucinating. Entrance jacket, heavy sleeveless black leather with exaggerated blast vents on his shoulders and smoke canisters that fire off on cue. Yeah, that could be doable. LED
he would do something like that to intimidate people.
Oh yeah, oh man, there's some really cool entrance gear I've seen. People are putting LED lights on their jackets and like entrance masks and stuff, and I think it's like some of the coolest shit ever. Because pro wrestling isn't just about like in-ring stuff; it's all about like the pageantry and like the other, like the hyper or the not hyper, the almost. I was gonna say epic, but I'm sure that'll come to me later. LED lights pulse orange red like sparks when he enters. From where? Just in general? Just like
I guess the grenade things.
Yeah, maybe the jacket is like hair, spiky, bleach blonde and unkempt, exactly as in the anime. Yeah, sure, thank you. Entrance.
Not really blonde. I guess he's kind of blonde.
He's blonde. He's sandy blonde. Entrance pyro, massive. No fucking shit. With timed explosions at east corner post as he climbs the turnbuckle. That's a bad fucking idea.
Fireworks at every event.
You joke. Okay.
That was the thing in Paper Mario. And it could go wrong and damage you.
Oh wait, I'm picturing something like this. Edge, WWE God Pyro. Fucking. Here we go. Turn it down so that I don't get, like... God. So he had a moment where he just asked, like production, like, look, I want all the pyro. And then the production's like, all the pyro? And he goes, all the pyro!
It's a lot of pyro.
So that, just with Bakugo, he's just standing there, like... Yeah. God, pyro. Alright, in-ring style, explosive bruiser. Bakugo wrestles like a bomb with legs. Style's a mix of striking, yeah, sure. High impact throws and slams, yeah, I think that's good. Explosive speed burst, he'll suddenly close the distance with a leaping lariat or shotgun-like spear. You know what a lariat is?
Yeah.
Clothesline, yeah. And spear, that one I'm gonna show off.
Spear is like both legs, isn't it?
No, that's a drop kick. How to do the spear. I'm glad that there's tutorials on YouTube to teach backyard moves, but yeah, let's show off the best in the business. Gold. All right, here's the spear.
Oh, it's the head, isn't it?
Shoulder, actually. Head is a variation. Rhino does it. It's called the gore. If it's with the head.
Most of what little I know about pro wrestling moves comes from too long making Fire Pro characters.
Yeah. Which, you know, it's fine. Like, Fire Pro has, like, lots of moves.
Mario had spears, and nothing else.
What the fuck do you mean shotgun-style spear? Like he hits him and the guy flies back further than fucking Bakugo? Alright. Aerials...
I would assume, like, very sudden.
Yeah. Aerials, rare but devastating. When he does go top rope, is to deliver something like a diving double foot stomp or a spinning senton. Alright. Spinning sent... I fucking...
I kind of see it.
Like the spiral tap?
Not to be confused with Spinal Tap.
No, not to be. Like this? Is this... ChatGPT thinks that this is something Bakugo would do. Sure. I mean, you see, well, no, because he's the kind of, like, his character is that he wants to finish matches, like, as quickly as possible. That's, like, that setup would be, like...
He is pretty flashy, though. I kind of...
Yeah.
I feel like his big finisher would be something like an elbow drop, because that looks more brutal.
Oh, then just... It's like this. I'm glad YouTube. The Warrior's Way. Like that. I think he'd be more likely to do that than the fucking spiral tap.
Well, they already listed a stomp in addition to that.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking this makes sense. This not so much. And then
it has to make it. He's trying to make his opponent feel like dirt. So
yeah.
that the stomp or the elbow drop, I feel.
The stomp, I think, would be. It makes more sense. Elbow drop, I get. Think of a hybrid of Tomohiro Ishii, young Kenny Omega, and more volatile Sami Zayn. What's funny is that Tomohiro Ishii is like one of the most stoic dudes around. So then he's like asking, so the ChatGPT asks, would you like the signature finishing moves X? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Are you is that, I hear like a buzzing. Is that your computer fan?
Oh, that's probably, oh, hold on. There we go. Is the buzzing still there?
No.
Damn it. At some point, the thing turned itself back on. Signature moves. Howitzer knee, a brutal flying knee strike. Bakugo sprints and springboards into a high, full extension running knee to the face. Think of it like a V-trigger. Okay, V-trigger.
You can think of any of his moves as X but angrier.
Yeah, he always angry, never not. You know, there'd be like a storyline where like a general manager is like trying to award him like a special thing, and he's just there and he looks so pissed off. He's
like, even when he's actually being nice to someone or intelligently explaining something, he's still angry.
Yeah. You want to work together, fucker? All right, so this is so it's like this, but he's flying. Yeah. God. Kenny Omega's got one of the best like flying meets ever, I swear. Sun grenade. Pop up, sit out, power bomb. So this then. Honest, okay, so 13 of his meanest, and it's 35 seconds. Sure, we can see. So guy's running at him. He lifts, like, it pops him up, and then just does a power bomb. The thing is, though, is that Katsuki's not that big. I don't think he'd be able to do it on bigger opponents.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a move for him.
No, but if he's wrestling, like, people his size, like, if he's... Like, he's probably a junior weight dude, right? Like, just wrestling exclusively smaller people. He doesn't really... Then again, his style... I don't know. If he's doing, like, a lot of suplexes...
Now, granted, it's wrestling, so it's unavoidable on some level, but I don't see him having much of any focus on grappling.
Like he's no, he wouldn't be chain wrestling or anything. He wouldn't be doing like submissions or like that kind of thing.
His moves all have to be very sudden.
Okay, his finisher, AP shot, running fireman's carry driver, Death Valley driver. Okay, so this but running.
This but angry.
Oh, I didn't realize Adam Page. That was one of Adam Page's moves. That's cool.
The same could not be said for Chris
Right,
Jericho.
so
all the way back at the very first All Out to crown the inaugural AEW
here
World
it is. Here
Champion.
comes.
Uh-oh. Oh, Death Valley.
So that, except he's running. I can see it.
If he goes in running, then it makes more sense for him, yeah.
Yeah, he's like running and then he does it. Top rope corkscrew brainbuster. Yeah, that's brutal. Is this the one I'm thinking of? Is he actually going to do a brainbuster, or is he going to do a brainbuster? So that, except he's spinning while he's doing it.
It seems too slow and too much build-up for him.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too... Yeah, no, it's not... I'm guessing maybe he just breaks that out in case he really needs to finish the match and this isn't working. Submission finisher.
It's like Kenpachi using two hands.
Submission finisher. Rare. Yeah, rare as in almost never. Nitroglycerin clutch. Modified crossface combined with a neck crank. You're neck cranking us out of crossface anyway. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh. That...
Pulling back while giving the opponent a noogie is what it basically said.
Okay. What's... Oh, Taka. Fuck it. Wow. So, of all the moves that this YouTube has, they just don't have his fucking just face lock. All right. No, yeah, it's just like a crossface. Or crossface. Everybody wants to know about the Michinoku driver. Nobody wants to know about the face lock. All right.
As he yells at his opponent to tap.
Yeah. Tap out, bitch! Yeah, I think this one
If he did do a submission move, it would be very bullying.
Oh, yeah. I think this mostly got it right, except for a few of the like this is like questionable, but it maybe could be a super finish of his. Pop a power bomb, definitely not, and then his gimmick, there's like some weird stuff going on with the disconnect with that, and then hero roots. I don't know what the fuck about. Oh, I got Himura, Kenshin Himura.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes.
Reverse blade swordsman.
Reverse blade.
Who's a pacifist. He won't hurt anyone because the blade's on the wrong side.
Yeah. Here's a kayfabe compliant pro wrestling adaptation of Himura Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin, tailored for promotion that values realism and character-driven storytelling. New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, Prime, ROH. I noticed something when I was like making these is that none of them, like, not a whole. They didn't mention like WWE a whole lot. They mentioned WWE wrestlers, but they didn't say WWE style. Yeah. Makes you think.
That is in the style of Rurouni Kenshin because it's a historical fiction that tries to pretend it's realistic most of the time, even though it's fucking not.
No.
It's got that Baki energy.
It is like original Baki, except it was more subtle than Baki. I will give it that. Yeah. Nicknames: the Batosai, the Scarlet Ronin, the man who walked away from war.
It never became self-aware like Baki.
No. I'm glad it didn't, though.
It's the Neil Green to Baki's Tommy Wiseau.
Shit, you're...
Anyway, he's from Kyoto, which is where the war he fought in took place, so it makes sense.
Yep. Gimmick: the peace-seeking warrior. Fuck this. Kenshin Himura is a soft-spoken enigmatic veteran of the underground fight scene who once earned a reputation as a ruthless striker known only as the Batosai. Years later, haunted by the blood on his hands, he's returned to the ring not to conquer, but to redeem.
See, that makes perfect sense for him.
Yeah, that's actually a top-tier gimmick where he's still wrestling, but rather than being like a blood fighter, he's just like wrestling like a more like technical style or something. He refuses.
I still remember the Wrestle Wars.
The Wrestle War. I remember when I brained that guy with a steel chair. The barbed wire. Kenshin is actually a veteran. He wrestled since ECW. He refuses to fight dirty, never strikes an opponent in the back, and avoids excessive punishment even when he could win faster. Yeah. But push him too far, mock his past, threaten innocence, or injure his allies, and the Batosai persona awakens. When it does, the crowd shifts from admiration to anxious awe. The scarred swordsman becomes a silent storm of pinpoint aggression and bone-snapping precision. Heel opponents mock his pacifism. Faces respect it, but warn he's still dangerous. He wrestles for honor and only draws blood when there's no other choice.
It all sounds apt.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate representation of his gimmick. What's weird is that I'm trying to remember how many like pacifist gimmicks there are in pro wrestling, and there are a few. Like outright, like I gonna try to win without violence. There was one gimmick called Gentleman Jervis, and I think he didn't like do any kind of like damaging moves. Most of his stuff was like trickster stuff, and one time he was getting a guy counted out because he rocked him to sleep and sung him a lullaby.
I don't think Kenshin would do that.
No, he wouldn't do that.
There are not a ton of like total pacifist anime protagonists, so Kenshin's kind of rare in that way.
No. I did one for Steven Universe later on, and that one
I was just thinking of him.
Yeah, so that would be interesting. I don't remember what his moveset is like here, so it'll be good to recover it.
It is difficult to like convert a swordsman into a wrestling moveset.
You would think that, but we'll get to this. I'll explain what I mentally translate sword strikes into. The Ronin Reborn, long red hair tied to a low ponytail. Yep. Prominent cross-shaped scar on his left cheek. Makeup application. No, it's got to be real. No, what happened was he was doing a death match, and then somebody like took a box cutter to his cheek. That's how he got his fucking scar. That's the storyline I'm mentally going with.
I forget if we see what specific fight he got it in the original series.
I don't remember. Maybe it was like an arc that they didn't adapt in the original. Red Hakama style pants with black kick pads. I gotta say, I love kick pads. You know what those are?
Nope.
God. It's these. You just wear them. You wear them on your feet. They're not boots. They go over your boots, and you kick with them, and they make a nice sound when people are hit with them. Like Kenta wears them. Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey wears them. I really like the idea of kick pads.
So is it meant to hit harder, or is it more a boxing glove type thing?
I think it's. I don't know if it's meant to hit harder, but I know when wrestlers kick with them, it makes a nice like smacking sound for the crowd. So yeah, I that's why I approve of kick pads. They're really cool. I think if you were to in kayfabe, it would allow you to kick harder and therefore deal more damage. That's anyway. A sleeveless gi-style top, often removed for the match, marked with a kanji for heart or atonement. No, he doesn't wear any kanji on his fucking outfit that I remember.
No, there's no kanji. He does he does often fight shirtless.
Yeah, so he's a, you know what? He's a lean dude too. He has like that. Hold on, he has like this kind of physique to him.
He's one of those characters that is like amazing with a sword, but useless without one.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, this is the wrestling verse. He knows how to. Well, he's not.
That's still too meaty.
No, that's too meaty. Zack Sabre, early career Zack Sabre Jr. like this. This is way more accurate. Yeah, early career Zack Sabre Jr. was fucking wiry as shit. Carries a mock boken or reverse katana for entrances, but never uses it during matches unless for cinematic segments. Yeah, people carry gimmicks to the ring all the time, like briefcases or tennis rackets and shit, and they don't ever use it. I could just picture like Wrestleverse Kenshin draping a katana over his shoulder and just walking and like he just has it like just like as like his character's like, I'm a samurai of the ring.
Now I was gonna say, would it be a sword just for the whole samurai thing, or would it be like a weapon that he used as an underground wrestler?
Probably a weapon he used as an underground wrestler. Kendo sticks are stuff that like is a staple of hardcore wrestling. Not like boken, because kendo sticks make a nice sound and it looks brutal when like people are struck with them.
What's boken? Is that a wooden sword?
Yeah, boken's a wooden sword. Kendo sticks are
bamboo.
Yeah, bamboo. So like Sandman was a guy who just constantly, he loves the kendo stick. He just uses it a lot in his matches. Entrance theme is minimalistic and haunting. Oh, that's right. What themes would like Goku would probably just have the sparking, like the Dragon Ball Z theme. That would
something trumpety and yeah.
Yeah.
Bakugo's totally WWE, like hard rock music.
Oh yeah, like butt rock, sure. And like metal even.
New metal Bakugo.
No, not new. Bakugo hates. I don't think you would. I
was joking.
Metal doesn't go hard enough for Bakugo. You have to be metal or nothing. Traditional Japanese strings slowly building to a somber modern instrumental beat. Yeah, sure. In-ring style.
The original anime had like a very Latin touch to the soundtrack for some reason. It's a very nice soundtrack.
Yeah, well, that and Inuyasha at a certain point, like that. I love that flamenco.
It didn't really have like flamenco elements in Inuyasha. It did have that one theme that was randomly salsa.
That was a great theme. In-ring style: precision grappler, striker hybrid. A fusion of technical grappling, precision strikes, and Aikido Judo style counters. This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to read more. Meant to redirect rather than destroy. Kenshin is a defensive genius using his opponent's momentum against them and exploiting overextensions. Think ZSJ meets Shinsuke Nakamura with some Bryan Danielson discipline. All three of them are technical wrestlers. ZSJ, for a while, just used like really complicated submissions. Shinsuke, he has like a knee strike. and he was like an actual MMA dude. And Bryan Danielson is, yeah, similar to Shinsuke. Yeah, his fight scenes in the anime, he kind of just like went for one strike like a samurai would.
Yeah.
Now,
it is also a lot of deflection, but like,
yeah,
usually he doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't. If he was doing a pitched wrestling battle, he'd probably just wear people down with like enough submission force to like basically say, just give up, dude.
Against a serious opponent, he's like incredibly cautious, so defensive wrestling makes sense.
Actually a better comparison wouldn't be like would be Shinsuke Nakamura. It'd be Tetsuya Naito, because he does like similar stuff in his matches where he's just kind of cautious and like baiting people out. Now when it comes to swordsman characters, adapting them into pro wrestling, I always like think that their go-to like strike would be like
a chop.
Yeah.
That's how I translated it in Fire Pro.
Yeah, so see, it's on the same page. It's like knife edge, like it's called the knife edge chop for a reason. I'm just gonna show off like my favorite like chops from Kenta Kobashi is a Japanese legend. He just he just swings like a fucking maniac with his chops. The guy's like, dude, no, I can take it, bro. Satoshi Kojima does the same shit. It's hilarious.
It's a little less cool looking than the previous one.
Yeah. Oh man, this other guy.
That frame he's on, he's like, bro, I'm glad you took that for me. Way to show it for the crowd.
I actually think that now Michi Marufuji has like some. Oh shit! Yeah, let's do this. Okay, he's gonna. See, when he does his chops, he fucking like puts his other arm in it too, and that makes it look so fucking brutal. And yeah, that's fucked, man. All right, movement, fluid, agile, always grounded, slides around opponents like water, relying on momentum redirection, quick dodges, and sudden explosive offense. So yeah, they try to hit him, he just move out of the way. He'd probably walk away like Samoa Joe for some. No, he'd sell it. He'd actually just kind of just do a quick movement out of the way. Refuses to target injuries unless provoked. He'd be working against his own interests as a pro wrestler, because one of the big like pro wrestling things is if a guy is like injured in his leg, you just fucking target it with submission, because then he'd be in so much pain he'd tap out immediately.
But his character is that he's working against himself as a fighter.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting like thing. The commentators would be like, Kenshin could target the injured leg, but he's not doing it. And the heel commentator's like, he's too respectful. He's working against his own interests.
So the wolf cop guy is one of the. He's the announcer, the commentator.
Yeah. I
always forget. Hajime Saito, that's his name.
Hajime Saito. Great. He's awesome, by the way. I like him. Never celebrates a win if it... Oh, offers post-match bows even to defeated enemies. Sure. He just does a bow, like, to a guy. He'd be great if he was wrestling, like, a monster guy like Kane or Bray Wyatt or something. And it's just, like... And it wins and he just bows to them. That'd be funny as fuck. Never celebrates a win if it comes via opponent's injury or disqualification.
He doesn't seem like the type to celebrate a win ever, really.
No. I imagine that if like he won and the crowd was like cheering for him, he'd like respectfully be like, oh, thank you, just like.
You just turn to them and act like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, and it shifts into a Batosai mode only when storyline demands, turning into a more ruthless version of himself. Into Demon, Ben Fowler, or Moxley's, but yeah, I'm glad this one yeah. Shit, what would that even look like? He just start like teeing off on the guy and then targeting injuries and stuff, and he'd look pissed. Maybe his hair just comes down. as well.
He takes off the ponytail.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't in the anime, but it would be a good visual cue for wrestling.
Signature moves. Hitting Mitsurugi knee, running seagull leg high knee. Yeah, sure. He has the kick pads, why not? Kami God step. Oh yeah, like he's got like he can flash step kind of. Springboard feint into a spinning roundhouse.
Okay, so kicks.
Spinning feint into the fuck are you talking about? No, give me a second. I'm trying to parse out what this move would look like, because this is fucking weird. I'm guessing he jumps on like the middle rope, spins and delivers an Inzi, like an Enzigiri. Oh no, DDD Pro Wrestling is cool. We're not looking at that right now. Like, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking of. Like this, I think is. Okay, do it. Like that, but rather than like hitting a guy on the top rope, he's just jumping on the rope and then flying off and hitting a guy with that move. This is what I'm thinking of. Springboard feint, but feint throws me off. Atonement lock, grounded octopus hold, transition from a dodge strike. Okay, that latter part's unnecessary. This is a.
I know what an octopus hold is.
It's like we've seen it done. Like
it comes up in anime a lot.
Yeah, as like part of a gag. But this but grounded. Okay, maybe not. Okay, there's different ways to do it, but like that but grounded.
Doesn't seem like a very Kenshin-y move.
I mean, if he's doing like the submission.
Full Nelson, maybe.
Full Nelson, or like an arm bar or a knee bar or something. Dragon Spiral, Snapdragon suplex into rolling cradle. So a combination of this. I said this. Thank you.
What a hell of a match, my God. Outing by
So Snapdragon is. Yep. Do the Snapdragon, please. Thank you. So we do that, but rather than releasing like he does, it'd be like a. Wait, that's actual wrestling.
This is wrestling.
Oh, this is okay, pro wrestling. Let's try that. So something like this?
Oh, nope, Zofri decides to just cut out the middleman and go for the
Right. Yeah, come on.
Now Che wrenching.
Yeah, they're doing chain wrestling.
Just chopped.
Let's get to the rolling cradle already.
Oh my gosh.
So like this, kind of.
Oh no, Jacob
Wait, like-
able to roll through.
Oh, this is the rolling.
A whirling.
Okay,
They
Kenshin.
certainly are rolling.
Okay, Kenshin wouldn't do that. That's too flashy. So I'd imagine he'd do a Snapdragon, but it'd be like a. Like maybe something like this. Yep, doing that, and then so something like this maybe, for like to get the guy down because there's like a lot of momentum on the shoulders.
I still don't really see it for Kenshin.
No. Reverse flow, counter throw from a lariat into a judo style hip toss or arm bar. Yeah, arm bar would make more sense. So guy throws a lariat, he just grabs the lariat and then just takes him down and gets him into an arm bar. Try to tap him out. Okay, what's his finishing moves? I'm a Kakaru Ryu no. Is that the finishing move that he does? The sword beam?
I don't remember if it's the sword beam. I remember it was like a move he had to learn or something in the anime.
Yeah, and learning it would have killed his master, and he saves him instead. A lightning fast sliding forearm smash to the temple. Oh! Oh, I love that move! I love it when I see it. It's a great move. So something like this. Okay, maybe that's flying. But like a guy can slide into a sitting position, maybe use the other arm. It's a guy that's a long name for like a move that kind of simple. Dramatic slow-mo cell incur. The fuck? That's funny. Just a guy getting hit by it, and then Kenshin just walks away, and he gets to the ropes, and the other guy suddenly just falls. That's fucking. That'd be great. Scar's Edge, step over arm trap. Yeah, so a submission. It's weird. It'd be weird translating Kenshin's moves. Because he's mostly a sword wielder. But it's weird to having like a pro wrestler who doesn't want to like hurt people and also have him be a submission wrestler. So it's kind of oxymoronic in that way. Which isn't necessarily...
The finisher I see for him is like a spinning, maybe double hand, a spinning chop to the stomach, and then he ends in that like, you know, what's the Kurosawa, like just did a sword slash pose.
Oh, and walks, like resheathing it, like EI?
Yeah.
Got to... Kurosawa... What? Sorry, I'm
like
trying...
after the swordsman clash, and he's just standing there waiting for the other guy to fall.
Dude, that could be a signature spot where they both like run at each other, and you hear like a big slap, and then they're both standing, like stopped and standing, and then like his opponent just falls. That would be a great spot to do. And it'd be great. It'd also be great. Like he did it to 3 people at once, and then they're all stopped, and then Kenshin just walks away, and the 3 of them just fall over. That would be like a really great spot to do. As far as finishing though, that doesn't necessarily it wasn't
the falling part I was necessarily referring to.
Okay, the chop to the stomach.
A spinning chop to the a spinning low chop to the stomach.
That's usually like those kinds of like body shots are normally like low to mid tier moves. So hitting somebody off of that, the crowd would be like, that's it. Like a lightning fast sliding forearm, that like especially if it's like strong style level stiff, that would sell really well. Because the crowd would look at it and go, oh fuck! If the crowd saw that, it'd be like, what? That pinned him? Yeah. At least he's got a like. As far as him having a submission finisher, though, I think that would fit in well. Especially if he did it on the guy's good arm, that would be a statement right there. Every time he like submitted him with
what
that.
What did it say about Shishio at the bottom?
What? Let me know if you'd like, for example, the storyline feud, Shishio analog.
We'll just tag team with Sanosuke, as if Sanosuke ever like contributes.
Sanosuke's finisher would be just like a flying punch. He'd punch him a KO punch. That's what his finisher would be. Link from Legend of Zelda was apparently next. Link, the hero of time, built from Kokiri Forest. Oh, this one lists the height and weight. I gotta add that to my things. Like height, weight, 5'10", 205 pounds.
That's pretty beefy for Link.
Yeah, he's like skinnier than that, right?
Also, in real life, saying someone comes from a forest makes them sound like a redneck. But if you're doing him as a gimmick of like this like mysterious like hero from like a fantasy land, yeah, you'd build him from a forest.
feel like him just from like Hyrule though. That would also fit because it's like faraway kingdom from the lost kingdom of Hyrule. That would work too. 5'10", 205 pounds. He'd basically be a cruiserweight.
I mean, he's heavy in the games, but that's because he has so much equipment on him.
Yeah. So I think this is the first one I just disagreed with totally, and I'll explain why.
Well, what is a white hot baby face?
Like the crowd really likes him. Like heat in pro wrestling terms is.
I know baby face, but
heat in pro wrestling terms is how much the crowd like reacts to you. Like if a person's got a lot of heat, that means the crowd's really responsive. If a wrestler is cold, that means the crowd's just like, whatever.
Okay. So
it's reaction basically. So if the guy's a white hot babyface, he hits like his theme music would hit, and the crowd would just go fucking mad for him. Like, yeah, it's Link. Link is portrayed as a silent but valiant warrior from a mythical land, chosen by destiny to protect the innocent and stand against evil. John Cena. He's a stoic, courageous figure who never speaks in promos. His managers or allies cut promos for him. Okay, so we need a hype man then. Who would be like Zelda? Zelda's just cutting like prophetic promos, just as Link's just standing there. It is destiny. He must win the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
Think Sting or Darby Allin. Darby Allin talks sometimes, but his actions in the ring speak volumes. His entrances feature epic orchestral themes, fog, and the distant tolling of a bell. Just light up the fog machine and he walks out, signaling the coming of a hero. Occasionally he enters with a symbolic Master Sword and Hylian shield, and he just takes it off. He's like, we're gonna wrestle now. He plants at the top of the ramp before marching to the ring. Oh, he doesn't even take it to the ring with him. That's how honorable he is. He's framed as the eternal rival to a monstrous heel faction, representing Ganon and his forces, and he regularly fights through trials and gauntlets to earn title shots or defend ancient relics. This championship belt is an ancient relic. I just love if Zelda's like saying he will defend this ancient relic from you, and Edge is like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I love weirdos in pro wrestling. Appearance: wears a modernized green jacket styled like a tunic with Hylian patterns. Something I found weird. This is something that I want to bring up. Is it you kind of miss the fact that Link is kind of transitioned away from green in the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom series? Like, blue is his motif now.
Wow, for those two games specifically.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because, like, people loved his fucking shirt in Wind Waker.
I feel like it's more to, like, emphasize that it's a new direction for the series. They want it to feel new.
Yeah.
I think that's really the only reason.
Dude, can you imagine, like one time, like, Link hits the ring, but rather than wearing, like his green tunic, he wears the fucking, like, Gerudo garb.
Gerudo garb.
You know, the Gerudo female outfit.
Oh, right,
That'd
okay.
Be a great twist. Gear includes forest green tights with gold Triforce accents, brown kick pads resembling boots, and white wrist tape resembling boots. So he wrestles barefoot? Alright, sure. No, he has to wear the, like, brown, like, wrestling boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has like white Peter Pan pants. Usually. I think green tights though would be a better fit for him. Green or blue? I do with either. White on a pro wrestler's, like, white as like a lower pro wrestling garb, that could go wrong really easily. It only works like for death matches because then the blood pops. Long golden blonde hair tied back, piercing, focused blue eyes. Yeah, that's what he looks like. Occasionally, the tied back is only Breath of the Wild Link.
Yeah, I think that'd be better. I think most pro wrestlers wrestle with their hair
he's not
tied
going to be
back.
wearing the hat, so I guess you have to have some kind of style to it.
It would fall off like during a move. It's a liability. Like
Dragon.
I'm trying to think of pro wrestlers that like wear hats, not like wrestling masks, because those are built to like stay on, but like a wrestler who just like keeps their hat on. There was Orange Cassidy who sometimes wrestled with like cool shades. Occasionally wrestles with a ceremonial Goron-style gauntlet or Zora-style sleeve, depending on special match stipulations, symbolic of gaining elements/skills. The fuck are you on about, G? What the fuck do you mean by this? Like pay-per-views, he's just wearing like ceremonial gloves. For like title matches, sure. Hybrid technician brawler with adventure flair. When you without looking down, when you think of adventurer flair when it comes to in-ring style, what the fuck comes to your mind?
Nothing.
Exactly! I'm thinking about it, I'm like, the fuck does that supposed to mean? Link's style is versatile, built for overcoming all challenges. He blends multiple wrestling disciplines to reflect his mythic journey. So, basically just regular wrestler, he just knows a little bit everything. Strong technical foundation. Strong? Okay, I disagree with this. I disagree with basically a lot of this. Chain wrestling submission counters infused with a high impact sword and shield themed strike set. Okay, discus elbows? Okay, because he spins. I get that. Okay.
That sounds apt to me.
Sure. I agree with this part. I don't agree with him being a technical wrestler.
But that's kind of his thing, is that he's got a huge toolkit. That's what makes him Link.
Yes, he's got a huge toolkit. See, what I was picturing was that he was actually, and this would kind of go like counterintuitive. I would picture him as like a hardcore wrestler, because he uses a lot of items in the game, right? And plunder is typically like a big thing in like hardcore wrestling. Link would go down, he'd grab like a ladder, and he'd hold it up like he just discovered like an item in like Ocarina of Time, right? He just go onto the ring.
Doesn't really fit his character though.
Dude, are you serious? Well, what is he doing in fucking Tears of the Kingdom? He's building shit. He's like inventively like building stuff. Like he'd fucking like take a table, he'd take it out. Like you don't have to be like a heel to be a hardcore wrestler. Like RVD was like he did plunder. Like a lot of beloved like plunder wrestlers in ECW and GCW. Like it's a thing that can be done. Slingshot spear from the apron. Slingshot spear from the... Oh, okay, yeah. Finisher. Like a submission. No. I think his finisher would be like a DDT. Honestly.
I don't remember what that is.
It's pretty simple. It's this. Not DSTV! Fuck off! I don't like the way that if I hit enter with the mouse on something, it
autofills.
Yeah. Perfect DDT. I'll be the judge of that. Let me see this perfect DDT. Oh, this is Indian. Pissed. I'll let you know when it comes up. There it is. And that wouldn't be just a standard like DDT, because that's basically just done all over the place. I'm thinking maybe it'd be a diving DDT. Like this. So this is what I think his finisher would be. There. That's what I think Link's finisher should be, because that's like the down stab that he does in games.
I did it in like one game.
He did it in 2 games. Actually, technically 5 games. You count all of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And also, that's how he finished Ganon in Wind Waker. Either that or a cutter to represent the spinning. Dude.
Usually Link is not, like the gameplay of Zelda games is never acrobatic. That's only like quick time events. Maybe it'll happen. So I see Link as an extremely grounded wrestler.
Oh yeah, you think he is like a technical wrestler after all? I'm just being crazy.
Yeah. That's my outsider perspective.
I just think that he just uses a lot of items in gameplay, so he's anyway. I might be overthinking it. Yeah.
His whole thing is learning a ton of different techniques. With I could see the items as well, but
like maybe like part of his career he's like a technical wrestler, and then another part of his career he just also does like hardcore stuff, because that's just
the main thing is a huge toolkit.
Yeah, I think this experiment would be better if I threw in like a specific Link from a specific game. Because here I'm just doing Link. It's just Link.
Majora Link definitely does flippy shit.
Oh yeah, Majora Link is basically just Link, but he sometimes wears a lucha mask. He has like 3 separate lucha masks he can wear.
Majora's Mask.
Man, this Skull Kid heel turn is weird. He's threatening to like drop the moon on the crowd.
His style changes a little depending on the mask he puts on.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, I did Zelda next. Of course I did. Zelda is portrayed.
How long ago did you make these?
I think yesterday.
You did 69 in one day? So yes is the answer.
I did 69 in one day. I just made 69 separate. Okay. Zelda is noble-born mystical tactician with a secret edge. She enters the ring as the composed, intelligent princess of an ancient dynasty, always dignified, always in control. Twilight? Are you talking about Twilight Princess Zelda? GPT? Is the one you're leaning towards? Or maybe Breath of the Wild? Who's the most?
She's used like the only bubbly Zelda is Link to the Past and its spin-offs.
Yeah. The only she wasn't even really portrayed as bubbly though, because Link to the Past, whatever.
It didn't have a. It didn't.
No.
She didn't get to do a lot.
It wasn't a very story-heavy game, that one. But when things get rough, she reveals flashes of something far more primal. Teases of a darker power emerge in big matches, hinting at her alter ego, or like trance-like form known in whispers as Sheik. What? Okay.
Sheik is not an evil alter ego.
No. How I would picture this is that she wrestles a Zelda, but then she has to like be exiled, but then she pulls a Charlie Brown from out of town and just dons a mask, a ninja mask, and a different outfit, and just wrestles as Sheik.
What if she was this? She's billed as a completely different wrestler, and legitimately no one knows that it's her in the mask.
That's happened occasionally. Like, Chikara did that in its early days because they didn't have, like, a full roster. Like, people would do double duty. Like, I think Dragon was one of them. I think Guac himself wrestled under the Dragon outfit. And then I know for a fact that he would do matches in the main event, but then he would wrestle earlier on as the gimmick Darkness Crabtree, which is like a luchador, but he's like just a stereotypical like frumpy old man. That was a fun character. Her promos mix cryptic prophecy with calm confidence. She speaks of destiny, balance, and sealing evil, not in a hokey fantasy way, but with the gravity of someone who believes everything she does matters in a grander scheme. That would come off as... That
sounds like the same thing.
That's the way you reframe it to the booker, to be like, no, it's not hokey fantasy, and you say it longer like this, and then they'd be like, oh, that's completely different, I get it.
Everything I'm talking about is completely serious.
You cannot beat me. You will lead this company into a dark age.
A rare aristocratic babyface.
I don't think I've ever heard of one. No, none of it. Like, all pro wrestlers, who do aristocratic gimmicks, they're mostly just heels. Ted DiBiase.
It sounds hard to convert a regal princess to pro wrestling, especially as a face.
No, yeah, it can be done. You just don't focus on the wealth aspect and focus more on like the weird like fantasy aspects. That could work. In kayfabe, she's respected and feared. A rare aristocratic babyface. Yep, they called it. Who wins crowds through poise, mystery, and a sudden ferocity when provoked. Appearance. Flowing regal entrance gear. Flowing regal robe with Hylian crest embroidery. Yeah, sure. A glowing diadem. LED lights or old school like phosphorus shit, you think?
Huh?
Like for the glowing diadem. Like I'm guessing that they're talking about the circlet she wears occasionally?
Yeah, that's more or less what it is.
The LED lights or just old school like phosphorus glow in the dark shit. And golden pauldrons, mist and orchestral music. So both Link and Zelda would come in through fog and like mysterious music. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. They'd be in the same faction. Would Ganon be in that faction as like the token evil team? He'd be the one who turns on both of them.
And a surprise to no one.
Yeah. Ring gear. Royal purple white grappling outfit with gold trim. Yeah. Purple and white are her color like motif. Dyna's fusion between medieval armor and modern wrestling gear. Yeah. Like I've seen like wrestling suits before. Mostly in Japan. Wrist wraps bear
ancient rune wraps.
That might be a bit much. That might be a little bit too much, but whatever, we'll see. Chic mode. Special pay-per-view gear. Darker blue stealthy attire with face partially covered, minimalistic tactical. Ninja gear cross with Olympic wrestling. Yeah, you're basically just describing Sheik's outfit. Tactical mystical grappler. Man,
okay, what is a mystical grappler?
Mystical grappler. I think.
I fucking imagine she just does some hand motions and the opponent acts like they're being thrown.
Okay, you say that, but we've had like occult wrestlers in pro wrestling before, and they do sell like weird stuff like that.
It couldn't be her entire thing, but it could be like one move.
I'm thinking of something like this. Like, because we've seen mystical wrestlers before. Oh, you can't hear it. This is the Undertaker's theme. So Gong's playing in the background. I know you can't hear it, but the thunder. That's,
mystical gimmick is fine.
Yeah. Occasionally.
I was just talking about how that translates to grappling.
I mean, Undertaker just wrestled like a normal-ass person. As far as, like, mystical wrestlers, like, how it travels into, converts into, like, wrestling, it's mostly just, like, in promos and stuff. Like they gimmick, like a person getting hypnotized, or, like, smoke would come and the guy's gone, and they'd actually go through a trapdoor and shit. But, one person did a force choke slam. It was synced up like perfectly. That was cool. Shit, I have to watch more. But some guy pulled out an invisible grenade and people sold it like it was real. That was Chuck Taylor in Chikara as well. Actually, now that I think about it, it was mostly Chikara. Zelda wrestles like a strategist and a technician. She's a cerebral grappler with a background in submission holds, chain wrestling, and sudden reversals. I mean, we don't see her fight a whole lot, so fuck it, why not? Yeah, she's a submission artist. Her match psychology centers around reading her opponent, scouting weaknesses, and gradually turning the tide. Oh, dude. Her versus Kenshin.
Yeah.
They just be standing for like 5 minutes staring at each other.
He's all about defense, she's all about strategy.
Yeah.
Because Triforce of Wisdom, etc.
Yeah. She blends in evasive counters with bursts of graceful athleticism, rope flips, somersaults, and deceptively brutal elbow strikes. Occasionally channels mystic moments, evasion sequences that feel like premonitions, or power surges during comebacks. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. Late in matches, if pushed too far, she might briefly switch switch, quote unquote, to her Sheik form, becoming lightning fast and vicious. I'm just picturing
How the
like
fuck's that gonna happen?
like she just suddenly goes like a burst of like strikes and stuff, and like finishes with a roundhouse kick.
She can't like change costume in the middle of the ring or anything.
No. She'd have to go under, and the opponent would wait 1 minute, being like, "Where is she?" And then she'd slip out as Sheik, and the crowd would go wild.
Hey, where'd Zelda go?
Triforce Lock. Modified octopus stretch. Yeah, alright. Modified how? I guess we'd find out when we watched. Light arrow dropkick. A missile dropkick with glowing visual... What? How? What do you... what do you mean?
Does she have LEDs on her boots?
She's like about to dropkick and then her LEDs turn on. No, they have a spotlight. They shine like gold lights on it, and that's how it happened. And the crowd would be like, "Oh, it's magic."
Oh, it's a missile. I was thinking of like the lightning kick from Smash, but no, it's supposed to be a light arrow thing.
Yeah, missile drop kick. That's just a drop kick from the top rope. That's diving. Good move. I like to see it. Surprise counter submission move from nearly any position. To her, which submission? Her Triforce Lock? That's her signature. Okay. Finisher, Ceiling Grace, lifting inverted DDT. Oh, so the Impaler, but reversed? Alright. This is Sting's, like, one of Sting's best moves. But yeah, we'll see this. So that, but she's, like, lifting before doing it. Alright. Well, not the setup. The setup, like this. Not this kind of setup, but like that part. So, all right, yeah, sure. Alternate finisher. What's so funny?
What? No, I'm not.
I thought you were
saying anything.
Shadow Citra. Alternate finisher. A Flash Snap Brainbuster. Oh, 53 Psy. She does the 53 Psy. Flash steps. Okay. No. So 53 Psy, aka 53 years old. No. You're just not gonna have it like, oh. I'm gonna be hopeful and say that this one is where he does it. Yep. All right. That's it. So, this is her what she does as Sheik, I guess, is that Shadow Step Driver. This was pretty accurate. I will say...
The only thing I really disagree with is the handling of the Sheik thing.
Yeah, no, Sheik should either be like a Finn Balor. It should be a Finn Balor-esque thing. It should just be like a gimmick she moonlights as.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is where I get really just, I'm like, what if? But you've never seen Breaking Bad, right?
Nor have I seen Better Call Saul. I know about the squat cobbler.
I told you. I showed you the video of Squat Cobbler?
Maybe.
I love the way he says that. That's why I'm like, it's like Squat Cobbler, just shamefully, like he's finally. Okay, what else? You've never played Earthbound. You've done Smash Brothers, but I don't think that's.
I've seen playthroughs of all the Earthbound games. I'm aware of it.
This one, we don't have a lot of time. I'm left. I'm just trying to find one that's like Mayhots.
I don't really want to do another stream after this, so we'll just.
Oh, Light Yagami. I misspelled it, but somehow ChatGPT's like, chill, bruh. We know what you were talking about. Light Yagami from Death Note. Psychological warfare, cunning intellect, and god complex. Yeah, sure. Let's see what's the.
Well, he's already got the theme music down.
Oh yeah, no, his theme music doesn't need to be changed at all. The judge, Light Yagami, is a cerebral heel with a god complex. We've done a lot of, like, faces. It's time to do a heel.
Yeah.
Portraying himself as wrestling's moral arbiter. He believes it's his divine mission to purge the industry of the unworthy, cheaters, liars, brawlers, and fan favorites alike.
Fucking Light Yagami versus Judge Claude Frollo.
Damn it. Oh, that's one I should have done, is Judge Claude Frollo from Hunchback. He speaks...
Could do a Quasi too, might as well.
Yeah. He speaks in solemn promos about... Dude, you couldn't pin Quasimodo to the mat. His shoulders would still be up.
Yeah.
You can only submit him. That was an actual gimmick somebody did in WCW. Where they're like, they got the hunchbacks, and then they went, they're unbeatable, you can't pin them! People realized that was fucking stupid.
Anyway, Light Yagami.
He speaks in solemn promos about justice, legacy, and judgment. Yeah, I'm sure he would. Often referencing an unseen list where he writes the names of those he will condemn in the ring. Okay, so this is actually kind of a fusion of two of Chris Jericho's gimmicks. One where he basically ripped off Antoine Sugar and was like, I am a righteous man. Everything else, this industry's filled with parasites. And then an unrelated one where he has a list. He's like, you just made the list! And he writes down, like, wrestlers that he really doesn't like. Yeah, it's just those two gimmicks. He manipulates referees, feuds through psychological mind games, and never dirties his hands unless necessary. Though when he does strike, it's clean, crisp, and decisive. Jake Roberts meets MJF. Jake... Is Light Yagami wealthy? No, he's a working class dude. He's a high school student.
Yeah.
Courtroom aesthetic. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I would say more god than, like, just judge, but whatever. Often walks to the ring with a leather-bound journal and a pen. His judgment ledger. Man.
Bootleg Death Note.
Bootleg Death Note. Judgment ledger. Okay, wrestling pun for Death Note. Burial
Doom
note.
Journal.
Doom Journal. It's purely
symbolic. You want a wrestling pun, never mind.
Yeah, I'm trying Doom... Doom Journal's... Doom Journal's better than Judgment Ledger, honestly. Wears a white or tan suit with blood red tie for entrances, carrying the Judgment Ledger. Once the bell rings, he wrestles in a sleek, minimalist black and white singlet or tights with gold trim and a Scale of Justice motif. No, I'd say tights more than a singlet. I don't know though. He is like, I don't know.
The Scale of Justice motif also seems like a little much.
Yeah, lean, athletic build. Yeah. Cold, composed demeanor. Rarely shows emotion outside of promos unless things don't go his way, in which case he snaps. Yeah, that is true. He is prone to, like, really bad meltdowns. In-ring style. Psychological technician. Light works like someone who studied tape obsessively. Like, watched matches, I think is what they're referring to. Like, he's studying his opponent. Every movement is calculated. He exploits opponents' habits and temperaments and targets specific body parts with surgical precision. Dude, okay, this guy versus Kira. No, this guy versus Kenshin.
Does he narrate, like, the things he's targeting and doing throughout the match?
No, he like gives the commentators a tape of like, he's like telling them, play this during my match. He's like, okay, let's see what the Light is going to have to say during this part, and it just plays like exactly like what's happening during this one spot, and they're like, wow, I'll be damned, it's actually going pretty well. He's not flashy. Instead, he's ruthlessly efficient, slowing the pace, frustrating high flyers, and baiting brawlers into mistakes. Yeah, that is actually 100% Tetsuya Naito. Style borrows from William Regal, Bryan Danielson, and Tommaso. Sure. No, that I think, yeah, that's correct. When he wins, he makes it look inevitable, like he planned the match ending from the start. Dude, he sets up something in the beginning with like an injury or something, and then he lures him in, and then after he wins, he like cuts a promo afterwards, and he's like, all according to plan. Or Keikaku, yeah. in if you are in Japanese. Signature moves. Modified rushing leg sweep transition immediately into a Koji clutch. That's convoluted but doable.
He has a lariat called the Death Throat.
There we go. So this
matchup. Nice chase, nice.
So this transitioned. Wait, what happened? Did I? Okay, good. Transitioned into. So that transitioned into this.
There's that fire.
Oh, face first goes Louis. Look at this.
I'm just picturing this with the Death Note theme blaring.
Dude, oh man, it'd be like a fucking, it'd be like ECW's The Gangsters. Whenever they would enter, their music would just continue playing as they would wrestle, and it wouldn't stop. You just, like, Yagami starts to wrestle as the Death Note music starts playing, and it just does not stop.
It amps up as he does better in the match.
I love it with that. This is another time that happened, but it was a wrestler called Crazy Steve, who was a clown, and like clown music was playing as he was doing a match. It's great. I love pro wrestling.
We have someone in chat.
Oh.
WWE fashion is bad. WCW was fashion icons.
Were they? I would say Dragon Gate, Stardom, and they had better fashion, honestly. Bridging suplex, bridging regalplex. Oh, that's just like an exploder, except you bridge pin after that. Final verdict: corner rope hung DDT. Oh, it preceded by dramatic writing gesture. So that's a great move. This move, but he's like writing afterwards. Okay, yep, set up. So this, he's alright. So here was where Light would like do like a riding like thing, like I guess in the air or maybe on the guy's back, and then. All right, sure. Spinning back elbow into a snap German suplex. I just realized I could just do this. So you know what a German suplex is? They might have
not offhand.
Might have shown it a couple of times.
You're just like grabbing them direct, like back, front to back, and just bending backwards.
Yeah, front to back, and then throwing backwards. Yeah. So he's going to go for a move. No! Fuck you! Oh yeah? Fuck you!
Suplex.
Yeah.
That's so like the default suplex.
No, the default okay. When I think of default suplex, and this is just because I'm like wrestler brained, wrestling fan brained. It just be this. No.
I'm just saying that's the suplex that everyone does when a non-wrestling fan references a suplex.
Oh, this guy shows all versions of pro wrestling suplexes. Where's the regular suplex? Fucking hell! There's belly to belly.
Is there a name for a jumping German suplex?
There's a released German suplex, and they're always pretty devastating. If you want a suplex with air, you do a German suplex off the top rope.
I'm literally just thinking Me Brawler and Smash Brothers.
That's like a fucking Ultimate Muscle style like German suplex. I don't think anybody's ever like done a jumping aerial suplex because I think that would actually break a guy's neck in real life. Repeated rope assistance stomps to the opponent's shoulder or leg to set up a submission. You call that the moral crossfire? You just stomp it on him. All right, what's the finishing move? Kira's Will. Fujiwara armbar transition from a crucifix counter. Okay, remove this part. Fujiwara armbar is like a classic move. Classic submission. Looks fucking devastating. Why didn't I do Xelrog? For real, why didn't I think to do this? I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But here's a Fujiwara armbar. That's terrible quality. I'm gonna find a better one.
Nothing's over till I say it's over.
Okay, Ric Flair. Alright, so this is a Fujiwara armbar. I think it'd be better maybe if you did a step over version of that where it's like between his legs and then he's able to pull and it looks really bad. Or like really devastating. So it'd be hard enough for Light Yagami to wrestle just by himself. What if he had like somebody else with him, say a Shinigami?
Yeah.
Now make
you thinking a tag team?
Now make his stablemate masked luchador Ryuk. Alright, so wrestling persona Ryuk. El Dios le Chaos. The God of Chaos. So Ryuk is a wild, unpredictable masked luchador who follows Light Yagami not out of loyalty, but out of boredom. In kayfabe, Ryuk doesn't care about justice or morality. He just finds Light entertaining, claims to be an immortal spirit in human flesh, wearing his mask to contain the full truth of his face. That's
okay. He's Eldritch now.
Sure. He never speaks in promos. Instead, he tilts his head, laughs, or eats apples. His tribute. Light interprets for him during interviews and in-ring promos. Ryuk just laughing, and then Light's like, Ryuk says that all those who are not a part of my justice will die.
Now that sounds more comical than anything.
Yeah.
I know why they're doing it, but it doesn't seem like it would be fitting for Ryuk.
No, it doesn't. Well, Ryuk is like a funny guy.
Yeah, no, you gotta let him speak.
Yeah, I agree. Humans are so interesting. That would be his fucking catchphrase. Humans are, because it already is.
Yeah.
The Ryuk often reacts mockingly or disinterestedly to whatever Light says. No, he's fascinated by Light. He's like very, he finds whatever he does fucking interesting.
He teases him a little sometimes, but
dude, it'd be great if like Light is like injured and Ryuk's still available. He just attaches himself to the next interesting person and becomes their tag partner. Just
abandons Light. Yeah, that'd be in character.
Just temporary. Yeah, just like then he has to like, oh, you're a pacifist. You're trying to be a wrestler. That's interesting. Let's be tag partners. Hey. Trios of Link, Zelda, and Ryuk.
Who voices Ryuk?
Whoever he is, it's
great. Brian Drummond.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
Who I think was Ocean Vegeta, or is that a different Drummond? Yeah, that's Vegeta.
Yeah, that's Vegeta.
Okay, so Vegeta's Ryuk.
I still love the fact that they got Vegeta, like the Ocean Vegeta, to voice the clone.
Copy Vegeta. That was fucking great.
That was top tier. He's not evil, just gleefully immoral. He'll follow the rules one match and break everyone the next. A walking question mark. Yeah, whatever amuses him, I guess. Black and gray full-body lucha suit. Yup, with bone-like etchings and jagged black feathers sewn into the arms. Okay, I lied before. The promotions with the best style are exclusively lucha promotions. They know how to do fucking pageantry.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen lucha costumes? Fucking slap. Like, there's one guy who's like, I'm the coolest cat, and he just has like fur and stuff. It's great. And then, yeah, the masks are amazing. They
feathers
know.
Sound like he'd lose those, but I guess if you had a lot of them.
Here's the thing, you could have like feathers, right? And you take a super kick and you just have it so that some of the feathers fly off. It's a great visual. Distinctive demon-esque mask with exaggerated grin, glowing red lenses over the eyes, and protruding horn-like edges. Okay, this is impractical.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds very difficult to fight in.
So there's this wrestler called Mystico who did a stint in WWE as Sin Cara, and one of the problems was that they gave him a new mask, and the new mask he could not see out of, and it really fucked up his ring style. So yeah, it did not do him any favors. So yeah, if you're gonna wear a mask, you gotta make sure that people can see. What people do actually, you wear red contacts and then just have like black face paint over like the eye holes. And that would be decent enough as well. Or black eyes. What color were Ryuk's eyes? Were they red?
I don't remember. He had black eyeliner. I want to say yellow.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, yellow contacts.
Yeah, they were yellow with red pupils.
Carries a red apple to every match, sometimes offering it to opponents before attacking. He wouldn't offer apples.
Fuck that, this is my apple.
Oh, he's addicted to apples. He wouldn't share his fucking apples.
Sometimes he might carefully place it on ringside so he can continue eating it later.
Oh, yeah. There's this wrestler called Carlito, or otherwise known as Carlito Caribbean Cool. And he has a spot where he would have an apple, and he'd take a bite of it, and he'd spit it into his opponent's face. He spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool. And I was thinking, well, Ryuk could do that. And I'm like, no, he wouldn't waste perfectly good apple on his opponent's face. No, he'd do a move, he'd dodge, he'd go to the corner, and he'd just take a bite of his apple and just enjoy it.
It's just a character quirk. He just likes apples.
Dude, he'd take a bite of his apple during a match, and a person would slap him across his face, and that's when he'd spit it out, and he'd get pissed. High-flying death puppet meets lucha horror comedy. That's wordy for you, ChatGPT. Ryuk wrestles like a gravity-defying skeleton with no sense of... see, the thing is that he has no fights, but I could picture him as like a high flyer.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that would work. His movement is erratic. He'll slither 1 second, soar the next. He uses his long limbs to tangle and twist, and explodes into high-impact maneuvers. Unorthodox like Jeff Hardy. Yeah, Mania of Darvin Allen and area fluidity of Pentagon Jr. Okay, you mentioned Pentagon Jr. for another reason, ChatGPT. Don't lie.
You have like a similar look or something?
I would say so. What do you think?
He's got the skeletal.
Yeah, the only person who's like more skeletal than that would be La Parka.
Skeletor as a wrestler.
Well, that's just La Parka. See, look.
If not the flying thing, the only other thing only other interpretation I could see of Ryuk is like slow and creepy, Undertaker-ish.
Yeah, he's too
not
gangly.
Strong style necessarily, but
he's
not
too
strong, not beefy.
No.
I think like slow and creepy submission wrestler would be another take.
Yeah, although like okay, Lucha does do submissions, so but Lucha submissions are like really extra though.
No, I know, but Lucha is also very flashy and high flying.
Yeah. No, but Lucha submissions. So here's an example of a Lucha submission.
What I'm about to do is called a Mexican surfboard.
So this is called this is a Mexican surfboard.
You want to get a hold of it?
Yeah, okay.
Give me his arm.
And he gets him there. Then pulls back and that's just scratching the surface of I think they call it libre in Mexico. Great stuff. There's this guy Hechicero in Mexico who does exclusively this kind of submission wrestling. He's fucking amazing.
See, the reason I don't necessarily see Lucha style for Ryuk is the mask fits, obviously.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is being very unnoticeable.
Yeah. It's hard
like if he entered the ring during a tag team match, he'd just kind of float around and you'd never know what he was about to do.
Yeah, you think he'd be like translating it? See signature moves. Somersault, diving neckbreaker off the top rope. Oh, yeah, that's a classic. Well, not a classic. That's a pretty cool So like this, but off the top rope. The fuck? Man, I can't believe the WWE existed since the 1914s. This fucking footage. Running corkscrew roundhouse kick. Like
corkscrew roundhouse.
The fuck? You can okay.
So like you start a roundhouse, but then you jump and transition into the other foot? I'm confused.
Ace Austin, tell me what the fuck is the...
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's flashy. Rope run, backflip into an elbow drop with 0 setup. So he's running off the top ropes, and then he does a backflip into an elbow drop. So this,
hopefully this works.
This is just lucha shit. No hands, springboard plancha. Oh, no. Okay, so you know springboard, right? You saw the springboard where he's grabbing onto the rope and then just jumps on the rope and then does a move off of it.
Yeah.
That one is just he just leaps up to the top rope in like one bound and then does a move. And a plancha is just a dive to the outside. Shinigami shirts upside down spider lock. Hanging from the turnbuckle while grinning, upside down. I'm glad you had to clarify it twice, ChatGPT. Thanks for that. Spider lock. Do you mean the tarantula? I think they mean the... So this.
Each other so well, Al. They've been in many battles over the years, as you mentioned. Now a shot to the kidneys.
He's showing. He's gonna show it. Give it a sec.
And, here we go.
So this.
It's locked in. It is not a legal hold. He has to.
You wouldn't really be able to see him grinning very well in that.
Yeah. Well, if the camera was outside, you'd be able to see him grinning, or maybe he was like at the hard cam. But yeah, you're saying that none of these moves would probably fit. He'd be more sneaky. Probably.
That's my take on him.
So probably just like a cheater then, just like dirty moves all over the place.
Amoral. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the rules.
Yeah, he just does eye rakes. He kicks people in the groin, and he just does like bare minimum moves. Yeah,
he lives in another world. He is literally above the rules.
I am above the rules. If a ref tries to call him out for breaking the rules, he just goes, "I'm above the rules."
Is there going to be a reference to the Shinigami eye in his moveset, I wonder?
Probably. Finishing
the
moves.
Bite.
The bite. Leaping double knee backstabber into a seated opponent. Okay, I can name a couple of problems with this. There are a couple of problems with that. It's okay. So this is what he's talking about. This is what GPT's talking about.
James Storm is on fire, man.
Angle. So this. So can you see the problem with doing that to a seated opponent? Oh, come on. Because there's no if it's seated, if the opponent's seated, there's no momentum. Like if you see it, how are you gonna do that?
You'd have to put all your force in. You'd have to physically lift them over yourself.
Or if they were seated on the top rope and then he did it. That seemed like that would suck more for Ryuk than the person taking the move, though.
Yeah.
I say just have it be a backstabber and that's it. Skyfall, top rope Spanish fly. Okay. If I was thinking that if I was to do Rock Lee as one, I would think this would be his finishing move. So,
is it like the
primary Lotus? Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but it can't be.
Well,
I guess the closest equivalent.
Yeah, the closest equivalent. So here's how it works. And it better be good. I haven't seen this one before. Yeah, that. I can see Rock Lee. That's Rock Lee's finish. I'm thinking Rock Lee? No, that's his finish. It has to be. It's not Ryuk's finish though. I'd say he has a really crazy submission move as a finisher. Anyway. Baki Hanma. This was just okay. I did this one, and I'm like thinking, wait, no, Baki's just good as he is as a pro wrestler.
Pro wrestling is a style represented in Baki.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not real. It's like outside of kayfabe, but yeah. A prodigy bred for combat, Baki's portrayed as an heir to legendary fighting lineage, trying to surpass the monstrous legacy of his father. Shadowy figure known only as the Ogre, who was once banned from multiple promotions for injuring wrestlers. Baki is framed as a natural-born fighter, raised in rings and dojos, with an obsessive drive to become the undisputed strongest in the world. Yeah. You know what's funny is that like his gimmick would probably be perceived as boring in the world of pro wrestling.
He is kind of a boring character. Every other Baki character is more interesting than Baki.
Yeah, Jack Hammer or Jack Zama would be better.
Hanma? Whatever, Jack Hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the Yakuza dude, or Gaia. No one could kill him. Not even who cuts a promo. Like his introduction promo is that I once was in the center of a nuclear blast. I was the only survivor. No, but Baki is like the most boring dude, which means he'd probably be the fucking ace of like whatever company. Okay, 5'6", 185 is very short to be wrestling heavyweights in like pro wrestling. He'd be wrestling luchadors. It's weird. He's like a guy who's like the size of like a junior weight, and he's wrestling like he's a heavyweight. That would actually make him more interesting.
He's kind of wrestling Little Mac.
He is, yeah.
Like in his show.
Damn it! I'm never gonna think of him as any other way now. You're right. Tape fish, short shoot style trunks. You know what okay, Baki Hanma exists in real life. In like pro wrestling. Say hello to Hook. There he is. Yeah. It's Baki Hanma. Hook. He wrestles
a little messier than Baki's, otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. And Henry
walks to the ring shirtless, sweat glistening.
Intensely focused stare, no theatrics. And occasionally enters with a crimson towel on his shoulders like a gladiator entering the arena. Yep. Hybrid grappler brawler with shoot style roots. Yep. Makes an amateur wrestling catch. Yep. Leans into realistic chain grappling, brutal body shot, improvise. Yup. Think of a fusion between.
Just describing Baki.
It's just convert. I asked ChatGPT, convert the character of Baki Hanma from Baki into a kayfabe compliant pro wrestler. I'm like, I don't really need to do much, dude.
Also, aren't the two of the three people it just listed, aren't they Baki characters?
No. Katsuyori Shibata was like a dude that exists in real life. He's a great wrestler. Bryan Danielson's mentioned a few times. He's like a legend right now. And then Minoru Suzuki was in One Piece.
That's where I was thinking.
Yeah, he was in that filler episode where he was tagging with Chopper. He said, "Become the Kaze ni Nare." Yeah, Minoru Suzuki being a One Piece fan is always amazing. For reference, One Piece is like a colorful show of like hopes and dreams and stuff. And Minoru Suzuki looks like this. This guy loves One Piece.
He looks older than he probably is.
He's about like he's like 55.
Okay, never mind.
Dude's actually wrestle. He's like one of my favorite wrestlers because he strikes like he just wants to fucking kill you, and it looks so good.
I think it was Bill Shatner for a brief period started posting about Sailor Moon because he was watching it and everyone freaked out.
William Shatner? Bill Shatner?
Yeah, that one.
Man.
I like the theatrics of the transformations.
Signature moves.
He doesn't really have signature moves in the show.
So this is going to be the most interesting thing. High angle gut wrench suplex. I was thinking you'd do a German more than a gut wrench, but okay. So I'm not saying I disagree with you, ChatGPT. Okay, we'll finally click this. Chris Benoit. He's one of the best wrestlers I could never watch again because the guy is a murderer and he killed himself. So that sucks.
Where's the move where Baki claps his hands and destroys someone's eardrums?
That's the
Is
move.
that represented?
I'm sure that's just a strike. That's just like a fucking tomahawk chop, except or not tomahawk, buffalo chop, except it hits the guy's head instead of fucking shoulders. Brutal sequence of low kicks ending a Muay Thai clinch knee to the face. Yeah, that's Kyle O'Reilly-ish. This guy's basically just Kyle O'Reilly as like a wrestler. Like it's just Kyle O'Reilly.
What is Kyle O'Reilly? Is he MMA?
No, he's a pro wrestler. He just wrestles like Baki essentially. He does this kind of shit. Grounded double wrist lock transitioned into a. Why? You can do one or the other. You can't do both.
Now remember, this is Baki logic. He can do whatever he can imagine he can do, okay?
Do you imagine him cutting a promo about how he imagined fighting an insect, and that's how he trained for this match? He's like,
would they put in a CG insect?
Okay, so Stress Buffer is coming up. That's not it. Nope. Here we go. So that's a stress muffler right there. Wrist. Okay. Now that I've seeing it like done that way, you totally can just grab the arms and then do that. That actually would be devastating. I apologize. You are correct. Rapid body shots, shoot, headbutt. I love how they say it because shoot is a wrestling term for real. Like if somebody says, "Oh man, that wrestler was shooting on the other wrestler," it means he was striking him for real with the actual intent to harm. So when I hear shoot headbutt, I'm just like, that's just a headbutt, but it looks brutal. And German suplex. There we go. Absorbs a strike to deliver a sudden palm thrust to the solar plexus. Okay. What's this finishing move? Son of Ogre. Snap style rear naked choke with a body triangle. Okay, that's just... What do you mean by snap style rear naked choke? Like,
you know it works when you hear a snap.
Okay. I'm remembering that finger break spot that oh, you can't hear it though. So there's one wrestler who would like take a person's fingers and then just like act like he breaks them, but you would hear like a loud like snap sound, and he would do that by like taking his like just making his arms just hit his like body in a way that it sounded like that it would make that sound. It's great. It's great.
That sounds like something that needs to be described by the Baki narrator.
Demon Backdriver. Modified Tiger Driver 91. Okay, I have to show this off because this is a sick ass move. Tiger Driver 91. All right, here it comes. This is the Tiger Driver 91. It's a crazy ass move. They recently did a storyline in AEW where a wrestler was using it, and people were like telling him, "You gotta stop using it. You're gonna kill your opponent." And now, like for a while, he was like acting like he was gonna do it, but he's like, "I hate you, but not this much." And he just goes for another move, and it costs him the match. Yeah, this was
so it made like Yujiro's Demon Back a part of Baki's moveset. I don't know if that quite fits.
Demon Backdriver. Maybe he inherited it from his from Yujiro. Maybe Yujiro was using this as his finisher, and Baki was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it too."
I guess the Demon Back thing is also like implied in later Baki.
Yeah. Okay. This is I did Monkey D. Luffy because why not?
I think this was the one one of the ones that I interpreted very differently from you.
Oh, well, let's see how ChatGPT interpreted it. Built from the Grand Line. That could mean anywhere. The Grand Line, Pacific Ocean. His height, 6'1". Is he that tall?
No.
No.
Robin is 6'2", surprisingly.
Robin's Derek Patrice. No, Derek Patrice is like 6'5", 6'6".
Luffy
wait.
height.
Luffy height. Oh, no.
No. Oda loves his stats. 5'8" and a half.
5'8". So, I love the idea that Usopp just said to promoters, yeah, he's 6'1", and he's actually 5'8". 6 foot what?
Apparently he weighs 141 pounds post time skip.
Okay, so he gained...
I guess he's buff enough that maybe that would work.
So he gained, like... So, wrestler... Okay, yeah, so no, they're just lying. They're just lying. His stats are lies.
It's taller Luffy theory.
It's taller Luke.
You know about taller Luke theory?
Taller Luke? No, what is taller Luke theory? I'm curious.
It's some weird Star Wars thing about, like, there being shots of Luke that's, like, an inch taller or something. It's fucking weird.
Who the fuck... He was an inch taller in these shots.
You'll have to look up more from there.
Alignment, chaotic baby. Yeah. The Rubberman. Monkey D. Luffy's a future devil-may-care brawler with a childlike sense of justice and boundless energy. He claims to be the future king of the ring, a pirate-themed underdog who wants to prove that heart beats hierarchy. His gimmick blends slapstick elasticity, with inspirational defiance. Guffin ignores rules, uses wild acrobatics, and laughs in the face of danger. His persona is that of a pirate outlaw who fights for freedom, and every match is a wild adventure. That tracks. I'm guessing that rule-breaking tendencies. He's like comes off as a more cheerful, stone cold Steve Austin than. So Steve Austin was like kind of a rule breaker, but he was also like beloved. Also Eddie Guerrero comes to the ring with a straw hat, sometimes chewing on a chunk of meat. He just comes to like with like a cooked turkey from catering or some shit. That's funny. Noffin yells, "I'm gonna be king of the ring!" To a pop from the crowd. Promos are simple, bold, and passionate. He's never political. But he's never political? Was he not? Was he? I guess he never.
He never really thinks very deeply about the world government situation.
Yeah.
He just gets mad if they get in his way.
Yeah, just like usually he doesn't have any thoughts about how corrupt the Marines are. He's just like, the Marines are in my way. I want them out of my way. Always principled.
Robin spends like 2 hours trying to explain world politics to Luffy and then just gives up.
Got it. It's a mystery government. That's what he would say.
Yeah.
We're big One Piece fans, so... ring gear. Red sleeveless vest style top. Cut off denim shorts and wrestling boots with straw trim. Oh, custom wrestling boots. Got it. His gloves are fingerless. Why is he wearing gloves? He doesn't wear gloves.
Good question.
He wouldn't wear gloves. No,
he doesn't need gloves.
No, not all wrestlers wear gloves. Sleeveless vest style top. So he just wears this during his matches. All right. Long pirate. He wears a long pirate coat at his entrance, which he always shrugs off before match. Does he wear? He doesn't wear a pirate coat often in One Piece.
He never does. There's like fan art of him imitating Gold Roger with one, but
yeah, no.
I don't remember if he ever has actually worn one.
So get rid of this. And his iconic straw hat, which he hands reverently to a young fan at ringside for safekeeping. We're back to the theory of, like, nobody could really wrestle with, like, a hat on.
Yeah.
And I'm back to that. And also, like, most wrestling slams and stuff, so you'd ruin it. So he'd probably just take it off and, like, leave it in the corner. Or maybe hand it over to, like, a stablemate for safekeeping while he wrestles.
Could have Nami as a ring girl. He put it on her head once.
Oh, Nami would totally be another pro wrestler. She's, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe. Body type, lean and springy with wiry muscles. An agile cruiserweight. Cruiserweight has like implications. We'll get to that right now. Spring-loaded brawler, high-flying daredevil. Luffy wrestles like a human slingshot. His body control is uncanny. He's always stretching, twisting, rebounding off ropes and posts with absurd angles. His selling is cartoonish, but effective, utilizing exaggerated bumps to tell the story. He mixes wild, brawling punches with unorthodox high spots and surprise counters. I mean, I could see it, honestly. Like,
it all sounds about right.
Yeah, what was your take on his in-ring style?
Not necessarily this elaborate. I just think of him as being a lot more about single big hits than other shonen protagonists.
Yeah, he
has like the gauntlet attack, so it's not always true.
I think he's like he is like a big spot guy. He would be, and I'm not trying to make this an intentional pun, it just comes up, he'd be like a spot monkey, where he'd just be going from big spot to big spot, because that's what he does, he just kind of goes from big move to big move in fights in One Piece. He shrugs off punishment with sheer willpower and rallying crowd support. Jeff Hardy's guts, Kofi Kingston's agility, Kofi Kingston deep cut, and Mick Foley's weird physics. Mick Foley doesn't have weird physics! Mick Foley is known for a lot of things, but he's not known for his weird physics. You know what Mick Foley is, like, famous for? Have you seen this clip? If there's any,
probably not.
If there's any clip that you this is the thing he's like most famous for. I think it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. So they're on top of like a big steel cage, and Undertaker does this, and the camera misses it. Of course they do. There's a replay that's a better shot of it, but yeah, he just this is what his most famous spot is.
He just takes a fall onto a table.
Yeah, from this height. I don't know if I would call that that's just him just obeying the laws of physics. Him defying physics would be like Pac. All right, signature moves. Slingshot clothesline. He slingshots himself off the middle rope with absurd force, rebounding for a flying clothesline. Why are you specifying the middle rope? That's a weird thing to. You wanted the top rope, so I'm thinking like he just jumps off the top rope, turns around, and just delivers a clothesline. Whiplash Irish whip.
What makes it whiplashy?
Corner to corner whip with flair. Oh, sorry. He launches opponents across the ring like a slingshot, often into exposed turnbuckles. Okay, so you know what an Irish whip is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing like he, rather than like just doing a standard Irish whip from one corner to the other, he uses the ropes to like get momentum to deliver like a really really strong Irish whip. Palm strike, a fast-paced combo of open palm strikes ending with a wild spinning back fist. I don't think he's ever done that. I think it'd be more like just a really hard straight punch, like the one, like a Gary J style, like punch. Gary J, his finisher is just like he just punches a guy in the face.
It'd have to end with like one of those cartoony wind-ups.
Yes, I agree. I agree. The wind-up is necessary. Meathook dropkick. Springboard dropkick where he twists midair like he's flailing out of control. But he's got excellent body control! Stop contradicting yourself! Yeah, springboard dropkick is a fine move. Rubber rocket. Suicide dive into crossbody. A running dive that looks reckless and almost too fast. He launches like a miss. Okay, crossbody is self-explanatory.
That's not like what Nam does, is it?
No, that's cross chop. Crossbody. Here's an example of a crossbody. So that but like running dive that does that. That's just like a running dive though. Finish moves.
Did I get the character's name wrong? Who's the One Piece dude?
From what?
Was it Nam?
Nam was in Dragon Ball Z.
Guy.
Nam was in Dragon Ball Z. Sorry, not Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a Dragon Ball.
If I got the character's name right.
Nam? Yeah, no, his name was Nam.
Oh, I typed in One Piece Nam. That's why I wasn't getting.
Yeah, you were like, I'm like thinking, no, he's from Dragon Ball, not One Piece.
I just typoed.
You transposed him into One Piece. There's something we could do with this engine, I guess. Just reimagine characters from other series into One Piece.
You like to put Krillin in everything.
I do. And I'm not sorry, damn it!
All right, finishing moves.
Gum Gum Pistol, Superman Punch variant. Okay, this is funny because Superman Punch is not just, it wasn't just co-opted like by pro wrestling. It was, I think it was in MMA first. Yeah, so Superman Punch is probably self-explanatory. It's just a flying punch. Yeah.
Setting up range for the neutralizer. This should put the big dog away.
Right, yeah, you're gonna do your move. You're gonna flip out, and then Roman Reigns is gonna just. That looked like shit.
We're getting a lot of clips where they do the wrestling cutaway thing, so you can't really see the hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's a better Superman. Nope, just more WWE saying, hey, Roman Reigns is great. Okay. Edge can sell really well. Let's see. Come on. WWE's editing's so fucking shit. God damn it. Yeah, but okay. Oh, I got it. I know how to get. Orange punch. Where orange punch comp? Yeah, here we go. You want to talk about? There we go. That's a better. That orange punch is superior. Sorry. Okay, so that's his, yeah, that would make sense. That's his finisher. Exaggerated wind up, but it's from the top second rope. Yeah, sure. Crowd chants the wind up. What would they be chanting?
Gum Gum Pistol.
Gum!
They gotta call out the move.
Wind up. Gum. He's like the three winds. Gum. Gum. Pistol. And then he flies off and then hits him. You're second. He just hits him with a lot of moves and then ends with a lariat. So it's just a weird Hulk up. You're second. King of the Ring is his finisher. Top rope springing elbow drop. Bounces off the opposite ropes first, rebounds, and launches for a huge elbow. So he just runs up, hits the top ropes, goes up to the other side, hits the top rope, and then does a big elbow drop. That's actually would be pretty cool.
Sailor Moon would only have finishing moves. You ask her to punch someone, she's like, I don't know how to do that.
Oh, that's somebody I should have thought of. Sailor Moon. You want to?
She could pin though. None of the other Sailor Scouts could pin, but she could pin.
Okay, we're here. This is easy enough. The character of.
Ooh, Usagi.
From. Okay, question. What do you think is going to happen? Where do you think she's gonna land? Like, what? Okay, first off, what do you picture her character is? Well, no, you know what? Let's just do it.
I think it will acknowledge it being mostly about finishers.
Wait, hold on.
Maybe like a flying kick.
It did the wrong thing. Sorry.
I remember her doing a physical kick once in the entire show.
Yeah, she did a diving kick once. But then again, it's able to invent Okay, you can stop. There we go. Now it's 70. Okay. Heat, heart, comedy, growth, and righteous fury within the squared circle. Ring name. Sailor Moon Usagi Tsukino. So, it'd just be here like a nickname, the Cosmic Champion of Love and Justice. Alright.
Well, she totally have the campy Power Rangers thing going on, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's not surprisingly enough. Oh, Jushin Liger was a Sentai wrestler character. Both in the anime and in real life. Usagi Tsukino is a bubbly, scatterbrained, and food-loving teen idol who transforms, both figuratively and literally, into a radiant symbol of justice under the bright lights of the ring. Her persona mixes magical girl aesthetics with classic underdog babyface energy. She starts her career as a klutzy comedic rookie, constantly getting in trouble when her friends with threaten her stakes rise. She transforms mid-match to a... Okay, this is not practical.
No. How the fuck do you do a magical girl transformation scene in the middle of it? I mean, you could do like lots and lots of smoke. That'd be risky.
No, it's not. No, it's impractical. No.
Yeah, you can't really do that. Also, she's an idol, I guess.
This is fucking weird. The name of the moon I will put. Yeah, you got that right. Entrance gear. Flowing white cloak with gold trim, sparkling tiara, and a moon staff she plants into the stage like a banner.
Okay, so she enters dressed as Princess Serenity.
Yeah. A stylized version of her sailor fuku, white and blue with gold and red accents, reimagined as a modern wrestling outfit. Sleeveless top, shirt-like belt over compression shorts. Skirt-like belt.
Basically could be a wrestling outfit. It's just a leotard with a skirt attached.
Yeah, no, it is. A lot of Joshi wrestlers at Stardom and like TJPW do similar kind of outfits and stuff, so that actually would translate well. Makeup. Star-themed face paint for pay-per-views.
Okay, no, you don't need to turn her into Lisa Frank.
No, it's for pay-per-views though. Like people have to go extra for pay-per-view. You can dress
Glitters or tear lines.
Sure. That's just me being funny. Her transformation moment. Okay, we're gonna ignore this. This is not fucking mid-transformation.
Okay. Again, this would be entirely impractical. Imagine they designed a costume that could, like, I don't know, flip inside out or something. So that are actually changing clothes.
So, I mean, that's a thing. Like there's this wrestler called Taichi who wrestles in pants a lot of the time, but then during like a big move, he tears them off because it's revealed they're like stripper style tearaway pants, and then he just tosses them away, and then he's just in like wrestler style trunks. Trunks for the rest of the match. So I'm thinking something like that, except it's in the middle of a match and it's just a fucking magical girl outfit. Usagi wrestles with a mix of resilient underdog, dramatic flair, burst finisher. Yeah,
burst finisher's right.
Burst finish is correct. Usagi wrestles with a mix of lighthearted clumsiness and bursts of elegant energy. Early in matches, she's often on the back foot, taking bumps, pleading, dodging by accident, but she's got a strong babyface hope spot where she rallies with emotion-fueled energy. Her matches would all be the same, and the crowd would turn on her.
Yeah,
this is not work rate shit.
The reason we're talking about this is because in the original Sailor Moon anime, every fight basically went exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And all the characters only really had one or two moves that they ever used. And if it didn't work, oh well.
Yeah, it would basically just be how Sailor Moon
did not have choreography.
Sailor Moon matches are akin to like prime John Cena style matches where he would hit the 5 moves of doom and then the match would be over. Sailor Moon's got except Sailor Moon has the 1 move of doom and that's it. Her style evolves through storytelling. Goofy counters, exaggerated dodges, pratfall defense. Mid-match, crowd-fired flurry, surprise technical spots. Late match, mercilessly charged comebacks with signature strikes and a magical finisher. I hope that's not literal. Alright, here we go.
The early sounds like that dude from Dragon Ball. Hero? Are you ready for the surprise?
That lives rent free in my head. I love that moment. You know how I do that moment like when we're watching stuff, right? And I know a surprise is coming, and I just say to the group we're watching with, "Are you ready for the surprise?" That's how that has.
It's just a line that sticks to you every now and then.
Yeah. It's that, and
you got the drop kick.
Yeah,
well,
high impact missile.
It's not a flying kick, but
high flat impact missile drop kick from the top rope. That's flying. It could be a single leg missile drop kick. Single leg drop kicks happen. Love and Justice combo. Left right slaps followed by a spinning back fist and a crescent shaped enziguri. It's already crescent shaped. What are you talking about? ChatGPT just crescent shaped.
We really don't need to have her slapping either.
Slaps are no replace slaps with like forearm strikes or elbows. Well, no, actually, I take that back because open-handed slaps are actually a thing in pro wrestling. Minoru Suzuki actually does some really stiff ones. So if they're like really stiff, not like wide-angled slaps that's like traditionally associated with feminine scorn, but like really stiff like martial arts style like palm strikes to the face, you'd have something there. Crescent cutter. Springboard or rope assisted cutter? I knew it because of the disc for the fucking like Moon Tiara action. I knew this would be a thing. Or Goku when she's transformed. Why are you putting transformed in quotes now, ChatGPT? You wanted a fucking like.
Wait, are you saying that pro wrestling isn't real? ChatGPT, what the fuck?
You wanted her to change costumes and shit. Springboard cutter. You know what cutter is? I think I showed it to you once.
I don't remember. It's not like an axe kick.
No. Cutter. So I'll show off the Os cutter. This is basically what what they wanted to see anyway. So it's basically like a face buster, but like held in. Yeah. Randy Orton does one where he just jumps and does it as well. And then the standard cutter is they're standing and then they just fall down like that.
Are you ready for the surprise?
Tuxedo surprise. A cheeky roll-up-pin done after an accidental stumble. Oh, so randomly a guy in a tuxedo just come out on the matches, throw a rose into the ring, distracting the opponent, and she just rolls him up. That's it. That's also a thing that happens. Tuxedo mask comes in and just distracts the opponent, or at least attempts to, and then goes, "You can do it, Sailor Moon, now!"
In the show, yeah. That's like all he does.
Oh, wow, they gave her
a rose.
She doesn't have just one move, she has 3 finishing moves.
Everything is just set up for her to do the one finisher to beat the bad guy.
She's got 3 finishers, though. Silver Serenity Slam. Lifting Fireman's Carry transition to a sit-out slam. Attitude Adjustment Michinoku Driver. Oh, that's called the Hurricane Driver. Michinoku Driver is one of the best inventions in pro wrestling because it's both easy to do and just fucking devastating looking. Look at this shit. Very simple. You just pick them up, you just drop. It fucking... So...
Part of me feels like we should have music for this, but this would be a lot of time to edit music into.
Yeah.
Find a playlist for next time or something.
I'll think about it. It'll have to be like royalty free. Attitude Adjustment. John Cena. I did it again. I should have copied. So it'd basically be this kind of setup into the Michinoku Driver. So, okay, well, not that extreme. Oh, by the way, it started off as being called the FU. Which is actually a better name for it, FU. So that's the setup, is that... So it'd be from the setup where he's got him on the shoulders, but you'd spin him into a Michinoku Driver. Which I've seen before. I know it exists as a move. Let's see. Moonlight Radiance. Bridging inverted cloverleaf with dramatic glow spotlight. Oh yeah, we're gonna use that same spotlight that we used for Zelda when she was doing her fucking drop kick.
She would almost demand a lot of ring aesthetics, Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I don't know. She seems like a kind of person who's just like shy. It would be shy out of kayfabe, but I don't know how people are out of kayfabe in this Wrestleverse. Bridging inverted cloverleaf. That's a complicated move. That also isn't like a big finish that like you were advertising. Yeah, sure. Show off the move, Rhea Ripley. So that. Wait, bridging? The fuck do you mean bridging? You're standing while you do it. So it's that, except instead of just like standing, you're just kind of just bridging on your head while you do it. You think that? I think that would put on less pressure. No, bridging. You don't need to. Oh wait, no. Here's where they walk forward so that they're bridging more, so that their head is on like the mat, and their body's arced more, like a crescent moon. It's fitting the theme. Final moonbeam, a top rope shooting star press. Wait, she's not doing anything. I'm like, none of this shit. Okay, maybe the springboard cutter, but okay.
They're just doing it because the name is Shooting Star.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically,
which was also the only reason we gave it to Ataru.
Yeah,
because his name means falling star.
That's a shooting star press, by the way. For those of you who don't know it, Brock Lesnar tried it once. He fucked himself up.
Seems like a big guy to be doing that.
Yeah, he did it once, like successfully. He tried it again. It didn't work out so well. Frequently paired with other Sailor Senshi style wrestlers and factions. Yeah, the other Sailor Scouts.
But Joshi's competing.
Joshi stable. Oh, it'd be her, Madoka or Madoka Magica.
Co-ed magical team.
Yeah, the co-ed.
Tuxedo Mask is the only thing making it co-ed.
Tuxedo Mask, I imagine, would enter like Taichi, because Taichi comes in wearing a mask and a robe with like a woman next to it, like a pretty girl next to him, and he just sings, he doesn't sing, he lip syncs into the mic and pretends to sing. It's great. Taichi's amazing. Popular with children and cosplayers. Yeah, sure. Would you like a heel version too? wait, you want to turn her heel?
Was there ever an evil Usagi? There was evil Chibiusa.
There was Dark Lady. I imagine this would be the same.
Well, yeah, that was Chibiusa.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's
we're at 2:20. We'll go as long as you feel like.
We won't go for too long. I know you're not. Anyway.
What number were we on?
We're not gonna do all of them. Piccolo. I say human so that the AI doesn't think like, oh, you mean them as like an alien but also as a pro wrestler? Because the Namekians don't exist. But you imagine as a human wrestler, yeah, and then the AI gets it. The demon Piccolo, the demon of discipline, the Green Reaper.
Sounds like a pepper.
I'm wondering, like, what his nickname would be. Why he got the nickname in this version? Why are you called?
I read an article about some weird nickname that Piccolo only has in like Spanish territories. Here it is. I got the article.
Big Green.
Official Dragon Ball translator explains why he didn't preserve special Piccolo dub name. No, it wasn't Big Green. Official Portuguese.
Okay.
In the original dub in Portugal, Piccolo was known as Satan's Little Heart.
that fucking Caligula-ass nickname. Little Soldier's Boot. Satan's Little Heart. That's weird. That's a weird nickname. Is it because like his
dad was literally Satan, supposed to be?
Yeah, but no, it turned out it was an alien.
It also turned out he was actually also a demon.
Built 6'5" and 255 pounds? Fuck off.
Piccolo is very tall.
He's not. I don't think he's 6'5". Jay Toriyama.
How tall is Piccolo DBZ?
Devil's Canyon, Arizona. That's some Death Valley shit. That's great.
I don't know how accurate this is. This is claiming he's like 7'4".
That's also incorrect. Whatever. Okay, but basically,
he is. I think he's way taller than you're remembering him, though.
He's heavyweight. I thought he was like 6'3". I would say you'd say 6'3" or 6'2". No.
Goku is 5'9". He's at least like 6'4".
Okay. All right. I think you're correct. I mean, I'm not talking about original Piccolo. I'm talking about like the Piccolo we all know and love.
Yeah. No, King Piccolo is even bigger.
Yeah, he's 10 feet tall. Tweener, leading face. No, after the Saiyan arc, he's totally face.
Tweener?
Between face and heel.
Ah.
Just kind of like anti-hero. The promotion style. Why are you adding this? NJPW style reads them with supernatural overtones for character, not moves. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, this looks like the official. He's 6'11".
That's giant.
He comes
size.
up past Ox King's chin.
You know what other pro wrestler is 6'11"?
Who? Andre?
Andre, yeah. Andre or... This guy's also 6'11". Great Khali. Tall...
Wait, we have a canon tournament height, a canon height for the tournament announcer.
Oh, we do?
Our dude is 4'7".
4'7"? Wait, he's the size of a child?
He's a short dude.
What the short king?
He's like an inch taller than Videl.
Wait, he's smaller than Krillin?
Is he smaller than Krillin? No, Krillin is 3'11".
That's
Wait, according to this.
Wait.
But what was that? We saw like 5 feet elsewhere. Whatever.
So Krillin is in fact like shorter than Edward Elric.
I mean, that was the joke that we made.
Yeah. The fact that Krillin was because it said that Krillin was somehow taller than Edward Elric, and
yeah,
I was like, fuck no, no way, unless that's a joke at Edward Elric's expense. Anyway,
all right, Piccolo.
Piccolo is a stoic, unyielding martial arts purist with a cold, militaristic presence and an eerie calm. Yeah, that tracks. He trains in solitude in the desert and rarely speaks unless it's to pass harsh judgment or issue a warning.
Good old wasteland.
Dude, he just cuts promos in the desert, and Goku's there. His origins are surrounded by mystery, with rumors suggesting he was once a violent underground fighter who found enlightenment after a near-death experience. That's brilliant. Because that's technically true in DBZ. He had a near-death experience and he found enlightenment.
He actually died in DBZ. But...
Well, yeah, kind of. Well, I mean, in Dragon Ball, like King Piccolo, quote unquote, died, and then his son grew up.
I was thinking like when he died to Nappa as his real turning point to face.
He died multiple times. Piccolo in pro wrestling, in the Wrestleverse, would be the kind of guy who take like big bumps and sell them like death, and just he'd come back. Remember how he broke apart heavily in as like a statue in the Boo arc, and then he came back, and they're like, "How'd you come back?" He's like, "I'm Namekian. I just regrew everything."
Yeah, the kids almost accidentally killed him, and didn't they also accidentally actually kill someone else?
I don't know.
As a statue?
I don't know if they accidentally killed. They're menaces. He now acts as a mentor to younger babyface wrestlers, but refuses to form emotional attachments, claiming they must earn their own strength.
He is the babysitter of Dragon Ball, isn't he? Dude,
it's total Motozuki Dojo shit from Dragon Gate. Because that's a wrestler who does kind of a similar thing as this guy, as ChatGPT is describing. He wears dark green robes during his entrance, similar to his training gi. Those are purple.
Yeah, his clothes are purple.
Yeah, dark green. No, I guess that's why they call him the Green Reaper.
I mean, he's not gonna paint himself green, so.
If he did,
I guess it could be like purple robes over a green bodysuit.
Like he's wrestling Finn Balor, and he comes out as the demon, and Piccolo's like, "Yeah, well, I'll show you," and he comes out just fully painted in green.
I'm thinking he wears a green bodysuit most of the time. If he really wants to have a serious match, then he does the full paint.
Yeah. Which he removes to reveal bandaged fists and taped forearms. Okay. Yeah, that's standard wrestling shit. The demon angle is psychological, not supernatural. He's marketed as a remorseless, battle-hardened man who is so focused it feels inhuman. Yeah.
So he's not suggesting that he's actually a demon.
No, he's just got the temperament of one.
Because he's not. But actually he is.
Ring gear. Green compression pants with purple trim and black boots. The Green Reaper. Tape around wrists and hands in white. Occasionally wrestles shirtless, revealing a deeply scarred torso. Kayfabe battle damage from years of hard. It can be real. Okay.
They really want to like paint on all the injuries and everything.
Look, if he was doing deathmatch stuff, they can be scars. I mean, look, this is Jun Kasai, who's like a noted deathmatch wrestler. Look, he's just got a lot of scars. It happens. Like people wrestle and they get scars from shit they do.
You'd also have to like find a dude who already had the scars to play the character.
Yeah, or just not have him have scars.
Yeah, he doesn't really, and
you don't need to paint
like regular Piccolo.
You don't need to paint scars for a gimmick. The guy has scars. He has scars. You work it into the gimmick. If he doesn't, that's fine. That actually can make him more dangerous because he hasn't gotten touched. Enters attire.
Enters with a hood.
Hooded. He didn't have a hood. He just had like a cape.
It was sleeveless, but it had giant like shoulder pads on it.
Yeah. No, you could have that. That'd be cool. And he tosses it off. No, he didn't have a hood. He had a hat. He had a turban.
He did have a hat. Yeah.
Yeah, just
turban.
So yeah, that's his actual introduction. Face chiseled, not with a gaunt with intense eyes. Occasionally wrestles, wears a turban with a. You don't need a hood and a turban. Fucking hell.
Or wraps his head pre-match like a ritual.
Wraps his head pre-match. Can't have it both ways, ChatGPT. Get off your hallucination shit. By the way, if Piccolo's not a Namekian, what race do you think he is in like Wrestleverse?
Like a human race?
Yeah.
I don't know that he necessarily needs to be one.
Like no race?
Like a specific one.
Yeah.
Like Middle Eastern, maybe?
Probably probably. I was picturing him as like actually Indian.
Yeah.
I think that matches his aesthetic. I'm like thinking, yeah. Entrance music. Slow, brooding instrumental with taiko drums and flute. No, it's gotta be the fucking American DVC music.
Well, there was a lot of like brooding tracks in even the American soundtrack.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Piccolo had a theme specifically.
Dude, what's your favorite Piccolo moment in DVC? I know what mine is. I just want you to say yours first.
I can't think of any like really noteworthy ones outside the obvious. I can do this. This is great.
That is a great moment. Mine is when he was like lifting a pyramid with his mind for training, and he accidentally dropped it too hard, creating a giant sinkhole, and he went, "Oh, oh shit, I fucked up." In-ring style, my favorite part. Piccolo wrestles a disciplined, strong style shoot hybrid. Yeah. He's a DBZ character. I imagine if you put in a DBZ character, they would go strong style. Krillin, strong style. Strong style. Frieza, strong style. Cell, strong style.
Yamcha, less strong style, but still strong style.
Yamcha, style. Combining devastating strikes, masterful counters, and submission grab. Yeah. This is the least surprised I am. The style is about controlling the pace and exploiting weaknesses. Rarely flashy, but always dangerous. Stiff kicks, calculated targeting, iron will. This is the kind of shit I thought that would be in Goku's one.
Yeah.
Then works.
I mean, he is a much more like somber character than Goku.
Yeah. Team reach. Long range Yakuza kick to the jaw from a standing position. Love the Yakuza kick. That's Masahiro Chono's signature move. It's like kind of like a big boot, but not. Can I get one? Who the fuck is Ricky? You mean Ricky Starks? There's a guy called Ricky Smokes. I'm trying to find. Okay, fuck it. Yakuza kick. I'm trying to find a Chono kick because he did it really well. Yeah, here we go.
Butterfly kick?
So it's kind of like a big boot, except you thrust as well. Because a big boot, you just raise your foot.
It's that weird middle ground between roundhouse and Sparta kick.
Oh, yeah. It'd be like a Sparta kick if you Sparta kick a guy's head. Good move. Love that move. Goodwill running. Weighted soul driver. Delayed vertical suplex. That's the suplex that I think of, is the vertical suplex. So vertical suplex is this. No.
So this is your default imagined suplex as a wrestling viewer.
When I think of suplex, because they just call it a suplex in the West. So suplex is this. You don't have to hold it like this. Some people they just do a full follow through. But if it's a delayed one, this is what they mean by delayed. Bobby
Very
Lashley.
delayed.
Bobby Lashley, yeah.
Extra suspense.
God, Bobby Lashley. He's so underrated. But he's in AEW. Yeah.
He has a meditation move.
Meditation lock. Cross-legged triangle choke. Triangle choke is like a combination of an armbar and like a choke with the legs. Held motionless and tight until opponent taps or passes out. Yep. Special beam knee. SBK. Jumping single leg knee strike to the sternum. Yeah. Special beam knee.
Does it take 5 minutes to charge?
No, he just does it instantly. Hellzone smash. Combo of liver shot punch, roundhouse kick, and discus lariat. That's not a smash though. It's like not a body slam. Hellzone combo. Better name for the move.
The Hellzone grenade is like a bunch of attacks hitting from all angles all at once.
Yeah, so Hellzone combo would fit in the pro wrestling context. Okay. Finishing move. Yes!
Wait, that's the same thing though.
No, it's not. Fuck off. A brutal spinning corkscrew elbow to the temple delivered from a short dash or counter. Okay. I disagree that would be his finishing move. I think his finishing move would be this. And I think this would be his finisher. Okay. Sorry for the shitty. All right. This is the Steiner screwdriver. I thought it would spiral more, but yeah, because the special beam, the Monson's that move is very devastating, right? The first time he did it, it basically just like railgun through somebody, right? They need a finisher that's devastating for that, and that's what I think it is. Demon Seal stretch, Dragon Sleeper transition into a body scissor choke. That'd be very fucking painful to take. That would suck to take, but it'd be possible. So Dragon Sleeper is.
Could you do a spinning drop kick so you land on your front on the mat?
You can, yeah, drop. That's called a drop salt. I'll show it. I can show it to you. Right. So Dragon Sleeper.
Off the ropes, hooks the trucks, then brings it up. Dragon Sleeper.
Yeah. So it's like a headlock except reversed, and then it's transitioned so that it's kind of bridging like that.
Referee checking out Ezra.
Yeah. So that. But you're also like the legs are wrapped around the torso. That would suck. That would look actually like it would suck. Psychology and selling, okay. Rarely shows pain even when hurt. Will sit upright slowly after taking a big move like it angered him. Wait, is Piccolo known to do that? No, he's kind of like been on like the back foot. Like
no, and when they say sit upright slowly, I'm picturing like Dracula sitting out of his coffin.
Dude, that's just Undertaker. Undertaker would do that after a big move. He would just sit up, but it wouldn't be slowly, it'd be instant. If the opponent shows heart or persistence, Piccolo may begin to respect them mid-match by increasing intensity and using less restraint.
I like you, Usagi.
I'm gonna kill you hard. Has a mentor mode where he gives just enough of a beating to push rookies without destroying them. But if they disrespect him, the gloves come off. I like the idea that he just is like constantly scouting wrestlers and being like, he has potential. I'm going to teach him by beating the shit out of him. Everyone's trainer Piccolo. This was pretty accurate. Honestly, yeah, Piccolo would probably be like a dude who would just want to train people. His faction would be the Piccolo Dojo or the Demon King Dojo, and it'd just be a bunch of young lions, just like trainees. Daimao Dojo. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Steven Universe, you want to see a pacifist? All right, let's do another pacifist. Okay. Well, I guess this is the third one after Kenshin and Usagi. Usagi's not a pacifist. She killed so many demons. But she's sad about it. Usagi, like, Kenshin would be like, you're a monster. Ah! The gem-hearted guardian. Steven Universe's persona as a third-generation wrestler. Okay, that's not how that works. So if they're talking about Pink Diamond, that's second gen. Don't add it. Because, I mean, we don't know that she was born from the other diamonds or something. Whatever. I thought the diamonds were like top dogs. We only know he's second generation. Raised in a wild, free-spirited wrestling commune by Legends of the Ring. Dude, okay, that's good so far. But unlike his brawler father, and I guess like his brawler mother, Steven's persona is centered around compassion, resistance, and unity. He's the indomitable... What? Resilience. He's the indomitable heart of the promotion. Whatever promotion he's in, I guess. A peace-seeking powerhouse who refuses to give up on anyone, including his enemies. Steven, you realize, Steven, that you're not, like, killing them. It's like not gladiatorial combat. It's just, like, you can respect your opponent after. Does he have a move called the bubble? Does he bubble people? We'll see. Well, it's kayfabe compliant, so zip him up in a body bag. Also, if you haven't watched Steven Universe, he is, like, physically way stronger than he looks. He just, like, lifts shit with ease. Dude, he also can fly. He also can float pretty well. He got that power at some point. He's known for diffusing heated feuds with emotional promos, extending hands to former villains, and enduring brutal beatdowns only to rise again through sheer heart. Dude, fans would fucking hate him. They want to see feuds go on, and so him just going, stop! You can't be fighting like this, and then them embracing. The crowd would be pissed, because that means that the matches would stop. Despite his gentle nature, he's no pushover. When pushed too far or when his allies are threatened, he unleashes an intense shield mode. Man, okay, it's got to be a mode swap. The shield can't just be a move. I was going to say, think John Cena's loyalty meets hope mixed with Mick Foley's heart and Brian Dan... Okay. Wears pink and blue ring gear with a star emblem on the chest. Okay, so he wears like a tight like shirt as well. His shirt's more red, but yeah. Yeah. He has a padded vest resembling a stylized gemstone on his stomach. Okay. How do you wear a vest on your stomach? I don't know. This is you can wear like a jacket and then take it off, but as far as like a spiked gemstone, it could be like another like smaller belt. Curly like black, something on his neck maybe. Occasionally wears a cape or denim jacket with "Stronger Than You" stitched on the back during entrance. I believe it. Yeah, the entrance theme. Steven Universe had good music. It wasn't pop rock, but... No, it wasn't. Synthy tones. It did have, like, video gamey elements. It'll probably be chiptune-y. High power resilience style. Steven blends untrained scrappiness with surprise bursts of strength. He's not the most technical, but he absorbs punishment like a sponge and rallies with powerful counters. He often talks to his opponents mid-match, trying to reason with them. You want to talk about... It's not entertaining, but it is very apt. It's kind of ironically entertaining, I suppose. I'm just picturing like, dude, we don't have to do this, and then people just start wrestling, and then they just go through the finishing spot. Yeah, I can't imagine somebody who'd want to be there less than Orange Cassidy. This guy is just like a wrestler who just doesn't want to be here. Why am I doing this? If it was Jackie Chan, it'd be played for laughs. Jackie, don't want no trouble. We don't have to fight. Sometimes
causing them to hesitate.
When defending friends, he enters a shield mode where his moves become more forceful, deliberate, and heavy hitting. Mick Foley, you know, these two had really brutal matches against each other. I don't think that's comparable. Bailey faced Air Optim. Yeah, that tracks. Signature moves: Jim Shield, a sudden crossbody block or rolling forearm while shouting "Shield up." Dude, this is dorky in a really good way. Dude,
he doesn't call out attacks in the show. That is very dorky.
But you know, Drax.
Do you think Luffy would think it was cool?
Dude, I'm surprised Luffy doesn't. Did they say Luffy would call out his moves during his section?
No, he has the crowd do that for him, apparently.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. If you're gonna do that, you gotta have the crowd chant. So the crowd would have to be chanting "Shield up" as well when he does his crossbody. Starburst Lariat, a spinning lariat that Steven delivers after a rebound off the ropes, often following a rally or comeback. Yeah, John Moxley and Nigel McGuinness did that as well. It has to be really crisp because otherwise it looks awkward. But yeah, and Steven's kind of like a stocky dude, so it'd look impressive if he did it nice.
I don't remember him ever lariating or body checking someone, but he could do it.
He's built like a powerhouse. He could do it. It's a moveset perfect for him. Bubble counter. An evasive tuck and roll followed by a drop kick or low super kick when an opponent charges. Emulating a bubble effect visually. No, it isn't. What are you talking about?
Fucking somersault.
Evasive tuck and roll. Okay, I gotta show you this.
If he was nimble enough, he could do a somersault into like a kip up kick.
I'm gonna see if I can find this because this is what I think of. Shit. Hold. All right. So this is Hanson of Oh. Is that it? No. That can't be it. Okay, that's it. He did a cartwheel. That guy that big did a cartwheel to do a dodge once, and then he did a drop kick immediately after.
Yeah.
Or was it an enziguri? I forget. Hugplex. Bridging belly to belly suplex. Good move. Funny name. Goes in for a bear hug, but transitions it into a supply suplex. Commentary usually plays this as he didn't want to hurt him, but he had to.
Get dunked on.
This is the equivalent of just so you know I won't enjoy this.
You know, it sounds, the portrayal sounds like Hercule's Game Boy attack.
Here. Bridging belly to belly suplex. I've seen that done. It actually looks pretty gnarly.
Those are like a German suplex when they're facing the other way, isn't it?
Yeah, belly to belly is like the reverse of that, where they're facing against each other. Two-step belly. I guess it's this.
That's a lot of belly.
So he's there, and then... Except it'd be overhead, and then it'd transition to a pin. Like a bridging pin. Which would be very difficult to do, but... Rose Cannonball. A high-impact running senton from the... Running senton from the top turnbuckle.
Look, he's magic. He runs on the turnbuckle, okay?
Dude, so he's limber enough to run on the rope, and then when he gets to the turnbuckle, he transitions into a fucking, senton. So that's a forward flip. Yeah, senton. Here, I'll show off what a senton is. That's fascinating, actually. Senton wrestling. So the senton's basic bitch shit. So it's this. It's that from the top rope. But But people realized it was boring, so people started putting, like, twists on it. For example... He missed, but yeah. So just spinning... Or like even just flipping that like a swanton. I wish, you know, he's big enough. That would hurt if people took it. That would be great. Finisher moves: hardcore slam, pop up spine buster into a sit out power bomb. Those are two mutually exclusive moves. You can't do that. But a spine buster is different from a power bomb.
Steven doesn't really have a lot of signature moves in the show. It's really struggling to work with what it's been given.
I mean, yeah, power bomb's fine. I'm saying that, you know, if he's a power guy, power bomb or spine buster would work. A power bomb or a spine buster. You can't do a power bomb spine buster. Those are
no, I know.
Two separate things.
I'm just saying if it has to invent more, that's probably more room for mistakes.
Right. Crossface chicken wing combo where Steven pleads for his opponent to tap. Please tap out! Please! Oh,
I'm so sorry!
I actually would think this gimmick would be funny. So...
Yeah. That wasn't Steven, that was Jacuzzi Splots.
Yeah. Alternate finisher, fusion driver. Tag team finisher performed with a rotating roster of allies. Fusion. Yeah, I got it. Usually involving a tandem lift and drop variation like in it. So you're not even specifying a fucking move? You say fusion driver. What is it? Who knows?
It varies.
It varies, yeah. Oh, Lina inverse from Slayers.
Is this gonna be our last one?
This will be our last one, yeah. We'll end this with a clap. Translating Lina inverse from Slayers. Okay. Nicknames: the Dragon Spooker, the Sorcery Bomb, the Crimson Comet. Great nicknames. Built from a hidden tower in the Badlands. She doesn't really have a home, does she?
She comes from like a green pasture village.
So not in... Was it the Badlands?
No.
Okay, so... But does she ever go home? We don't ever see her home.
No, it's mentioned once or twice, but no, we never see it.
Chaotic face. Love for her attitude, feared for her temper. Gimmick. Explosive sorceress. Lina Inverse is portrayed as an eccentric, cocky, dangerous, clever prodigy in the ring. An arrogant but beloved wild card with a fiery temper and a bigger ego. She calls herself the greatest wrestler mage to ever live. Magic. Even though magic isn't real.
She doesn't care. She calls herself that anyway.
It's part of the gimmick. Her character leans into elaborate spell-casting taunts before big moves, akin to Finn Balor's theatrically or Pentagon Jr.'s hand sign. Cero! Miero! Claiming her moves are infused with arcane power. I love it. I love it when like wrestlers are delusional like that. I think of like Randy Savage when he or like Ultimate Warrior old school. Just like talking about how they're like infused with like by the stars of the sky and the dimensions of the parallel, the Dungeon of Doom's monster truck is far superior to that of Hulk Hogan's.
But Lina would talk about it like it's just totally casual, like it's just where she's from.
Yeah, I painted these sigils on my ring gear, and these sigils spell your doom, Megumin. Because bombastic promos loaded with metaphors, magical jargon, and self-aggrandizing line. Okay, the way they're describing this is a wrestler I really would want to see in real life. Constantly threatening to nuke her opponent.
She does nuke people a lot. Dude,
this is amazing. I'd love to see this mic work. With finishers named after apocalyptic spells. Commentary plays along, framing her technical mastery, destructive moves as spell-like precision or high-level arcane offense. Short, scrappy, very loud. She always thinks she's the smartest one in the room, and half the time she is. Ring gear. Yeah. I mean, this tracks. This is just accurate. It's like ChatGPT just kind of experiments sometimes, but then they're just like, no, this is her. Ring gear. Flashy crimson and gold tights styled like a sorcerer's robe from the waist down with a cropped top, elbow-length fingerless gloves, and a stylized cloak or cape worn during her entrance. Yeah.
Okay, so the crop top is like that yellow thing that goes across her chest.
Yeah. I'd say it'd have to be more form-fitting and longer, just so she doesn't have any accidents. But yeah, I think the lower part, just from Cannon Slayers, would just be fine on its own. Accessories. Decorative magic talismans sewn into her gear. Okay.
That's gonna get in the way.
Well, if it's sewn in, if it's just like patches, then no.
I guess if it's small enough, but
yeah.
I'm thinking landing on little hard pieces of plastic, though.
No, that'd suck. Yeah, just magic arcane sigils painted on her boots and gloves. I'd say just magic talismans, like you know, like Shinto shit, something like that.
She wears it on her like cape and her wrists. I think she should like come in with the cape and then take it off.
Yeah. Occasionally carries a faux spellbook into the... Yeah, you'd almost have to. Fiery red hair and a wild mane, which not stylized to nod to her anime origins. Yeah. No, who's Lina inverse?
Sharp green contacts. Why can't she just have green eyes?
Well, maybe the character doesn't have green eyes. Okay, we'll just assume that the character has green eyes. That just naturally contact. Guitar, a rock remix of classical fantasy music with magical sound effects layered in. Electric guitar makes JRPG boss theme. You know what? Fucking something from like Stradivarius, or like Dragon Force. Just that's her theme. Henry Cell, arcane brawler. You say that. Technical striker and high risk brawler. She fights like someone trying to overwhelm her opponent with fast strikes and unpredictable momentum swings, compensating for her smaller size and lack of pure power. She's got chain wrestling when needed, but prefers to control pace with unorthodox setups and explosive finishers. Chaotic genius of Bryan Danielson, AJ Lee, self-serving opportunism, Selena Vega, and some Yuki Sakazaki. You just say that because her gimmick is that she's a magical princess, ChatGPT.
Well, magical.
The way you're describing it, it's none of these people. You're describing it like she's like fucking John Moxley or like Nick Gage, but as like a sorceress.
Okay, so all her signature moves she calls spells.
Yeah. I'll hit you with my final spell. Arcane Palm Strike. A loud open hand slap to the chaser face, hyped up like it's a magical blast. That's just a move she would do. Like, so she just strikes like Kento Kobashi. Or like Ric Flair. Fireball kick. Spinning heel kick to the side of the head. Alright. Bridging snap suplex out of nowhere. That could work. That'd actually be cool to see. Chaos Trip. Drop toe hold to the second rope, followed by a running knee. Oh! This is one of the best, like, movesets. Planet combo. Flurry of palm strikes and low kicks ending with a spinning back fist. Jeez. Alright, yeah. That makes sense. Signature moves. Explosion wheel. Rolling senton from the second rope. Sold as a fireball impact move.
So her main moves in the show are like Fireball and Dragon Slave are what she uses most.
Yeah, she's a two-trick pony. So, Dragon Slave Driver. Swinging Fisherman Neck Breaker. I think that's a move that actually exists, but I'm not 100%
Well, I would
sure.
hope so. I hope it's not just listing words.
Right. I'm trying to think about what that is. Oh, it's the moss-covered three-handled family Gerdunzel.
Yeah, that.
That's literally what Perry Saturn named this fucking move.
Looking for that semi-final opportunity in this Sunday's King of the Ring.
That's a good move. Honestly though, better fisherman style move. This is a better like fisherman. This is one of my favorite ones. That's from the top rope. Yeah, that. I like that move a whole lot. I think she would do that. But then again, considering that she's small, I can see why they would say that one would be better.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Mega Brains. Dude. Great name.
I'm so smart.
Moonsault with a twist.
So they didn't name any specials after. Oh, finishers maybe are like her big ultimate attacks.
Yeah. So these aren't like her finishing moves. She just knows all these moves. She's a moves like person. She's got to get her shit in.
Okay, so we're looking for Giga Slave and Ragna Blade.
Giga Flare. Jumping crucifix bomb. Oh, yeah, the Black Tiger bomb. Yeah, Black Tiger bomb. Okay, you don't want to do the fucking like swinging fisherman neck breaker. You want to do the swinging fisherman neck breaker because of her size, but she can pull off the Giga Flare bomb like easily. Oh, this move has like a 25% chance of ending the world when she does it.
Yeah.
Chaos.
She just dies.
Chaos Nova Lock. Modified Octopus Stretch. They always use Octopus Stretch, but I guess
with theatrical screaming and wrist yanking. Is that like a comedy thing? Like she's grabbing Gowry?
Yeah, maybe. Or like the opponent's screaming. Like Soul is tearing their mana core apart. Doom Ray Drop. Rope Hung DDT where she stands on the second rope and drops backwards. I guess that's the closest equivalent to. Okay, call it the Ragna driver, and then you got it.
Yeah.
She cuts hyper-confident, fast-talking promos filled with references to magical duels, dragons she's defeated, and legendary heroes who kiss the mat. She constantly insults opponents by calling them goblin-tier grunts or low-level scrubs. Sometimes she breaks into chance mid-match to power up her next move.
Sounds about right.
This was great. This was great.
What's at the very bottom?
Oh, it's just saying, would you like her tag partner to be Gowry?
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah, this is what I do all the time. Is the way I think about stuff like this, and I don't know why. This is the thing I would consider to be really weird. Like other stuff, I'm like, this is normal. This is normal. This is just my weird. This is me when I get weird. Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to have the chat be on screen. Whoops.
Hey, we didn't have much.
That's fine. Oh, where is it? Come on, scene. There we go. All right, well that's it for today. We'll be streaming again on Saturday, hopefully.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe something different than Tears of the Kingdom.
We'll see. Won't be on this channel, but I'm streaming Donkey Kong with Nick tomorrow.
Yes, I saw that. I hope you enjoy that. That's. I hope you have less streaming from him than you did with me when I was playing with you.
All right, that's it for today, though.
All right, yep. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.